What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, so you lost. Next time you win.
Steamy, hot, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
I don't say it. Folks at home, how you doing tonight? I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I know we are. We have a brand new, spanking brand new Ike Live show for you tonight, and it's going to be damn good. I like to call this show tonight the Young Guns because we've got some really talented up-and-coming young anglers coming on the show. Second segment, I'm sorry. We got Nolan and Ewing Minor joining us. Third segment, Luminetti, Mike Figueroa coming on. It's going to be a great show. Let me intro the room real quick. Sitting to my left, the one and only Dave Brodzik, a.k.a. Fathead, a.k.a. Worf, a.k.a. Stormtrooper. Dave, how you doing tonight?
All right, man.
It's good to see you.
It's great to have another Is Like Alive.
I know. Lake Alive. It's nice to have a Lake Alive.
Is Like Live.
Dude, here's the thing, and I'm hoping that it went undiscovered over the last couple months, but this is my first show back in studio in a few months, which is not. It's nice to be back. It's nice to be back. I really like this show, man. Life is crazy. Life's busy, but I like this show a lot. I really like this show. This is fun.
You're too busy, in my
Yeah, it's busy. Well, things are going to slow down. I can smell it coming.
That's a lie.
No, it's not a lie. I smell it coming.
It's never slowing down.
Let me intro the rest of the room. We got a great crew tonight, pushing buttons, answering IMs tonight. This is a very unique job for this man. The one and only Power Bay Paul in studio again. Paul, man, it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here, Mike.
I told you downstairs, Paul, that we love having you on the show, period. But having you here live, I can see, I can touch you. I can feel you. It's better than the Zoom, Skype thing, whatever the hell we use.
Yeah, it's a lot more personal.
Yeah. It's nice. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for this opportunity.
It's awesome. And we're going to catch up with you in a bit. We want to hear what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Making plays, and Dave, we mentioned this that during the intro. Of course, everybody's just watching intro. They didn't get to see what we see back here, but this is one of the first times I can remember in the history of the show that Brian started the show without any assistance whatsoever.
Zero.
And that's a big applause right there.
Oh, knock it off.
We want a big applause for Brian the Carpenter.
Like watching your kid ride away on a bike.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's like finally figuring out how to use a baitcaster, you know?
Knock it off.
It's pretty amazing. But, Brian, here's the other thing.
We're 20 minutes late.
I know.
I wouldn't
that's
go patting
right.
ourselves on the back.
That's all right. Who cares if we're 20 minutes late? Here's the other thing that Dave and I mentioned, which is, Dave, this has been for me, it's been a crazy career over 30 years to really build this up into brands. And we look over here at Brian. What's he rocking? I see he's got BTC swag. He's got his own logo.
He's got merch.
He's got a fans only page. He's showing the mule on the fans only page. OnlyFans. Oh, I said it wrong. I'm sorry. OnlyFans.
I didn't even know.
Correct him, Beck.
Beck knows because she's on there.
Yeah.
That's why she knows the name of it.
Big Booty Becky. That's how you can find me.
Yeah.
Big Booty Becky.
Well, you know what Becky it means in slang. If anybody watching tonight already on the IMs
Why did I show up and
knows
we went downhill
what Becky
fast?
means in street slang,
give him the bag.
You don't have to.
chime through. We'll give you a prize. Paul, please let it through. If somebody chimes in with that.
Paul,
let that through. Paul,
let that
don't
through.
listen to Becky. Let that through. Brian, I like the swag. I like the merch. I like the logo. Who did the logo? Because the logo's dope. Is that a James Riley thing, or is that not?
It's a friend of James Riley.
It's pretty awesome.
It's
pretty awesome.
It's like the Pennsylvania version of James Riley.
Oh, cool.
There's
okay.
like two of them. And this is the one that lives in PA.
Are they related, or it's just a?
They're related.
They
yeah.
are.
They
Oh,
were
very
split
cool.
from a single embryo. Yeah.
So they both were granted the
They split
the
the
graphic
cell.
design gene.
That's correct.
At a
And
young
where
age.
can people get a BTC shirt?
Yeah,
They can't.
they can.
No.
Well, Vegas is hawking his stuff. You're not hawking your stuff yet?
101, bro.
Oh, come on,
Paul,
man.
grab me that hat.
Come on.
I got.
It's
what?
dope.
What?
All right, if you're watching right now and you want to get your hands on a BTC hat or shirt, chime in, Paul. If that comes through, if we hear some people wanting that shirt, we got to figure this out, Brian.
Hey,
We
you
got to
got a
get some of
hat.
this done.
Nice, man.
We can sell for even if we sell for like 20, you can get 20, 30 bucks for the shirt. You can get 15, 20 bucks for the hat.
That's right.
Make a little side coin.
Yeah.
There's no coin to be made from apparel.
Well,
No.
not really, but you get the
'Cause that's
brand
what it
out there.
costs.
It's
to make
fishing.
them
There's barely
nowadays.
money to be made, especially with guys like you
Yeah.
around.
Well, whatever. Whatever. Man, this is going to be a good show tonight. Honestly, very excited to have young guys on the show. There's a certain energy to the next
excited?
generation. I'm excited, dude. I'm
Okay.
excited. And listen, I love the veterans and I love the old guys too, and they're iconic. But young guys, there's a certain energy. I can't wait to have these guys on the show. Real quick, before we get into the sponsor thing, I do want to remind you. Do you want to sit next to me? Is that better? Is that better for the shot? Oh, Beck, you can come next to me. Come next to me, Beck. You can sit next to me.
That's decent, though. if
It's
he
okay.
doesn't move.
If you're watching tonight on Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook Live, we got a little contest. This is kind of world famous right now. All you have to do is like and share the feed. If you like and share our feed, we're going to put you in a random draw in the third segment for the famous Ike Live gift bag. I'm telling you guys, if I'm an ounce off, I'm a liar. This is 20 to 30 pounds of pure, lustful sponsored products.
20 to 30
20 to
pounds.
30 pounds
But
if I'm
he's
an ounce off. And it's great. I mean, there's stuff from Founders and MTB and all of our sponsors in here. You're going to want to get this thing. So like and share the feed. We're going to put you in a contest to win that. It's really good stuff. Beck, here's some exciting news. Founders is one of the great sponsors of the show. You see this giant fake box of beer here. But by the way, Dave, what are we drinking
with
tonight?
All those summer goodies.
I don't know. I think somebody drank them. Was it beer in there or was it
There was beer and swag.
gone, stolen?
This is the all-day wheat.
All day wheat, all day vacay. Listen to me. I know you like the all day IPA. That's a classic. It's a staple. I love it too. But Beck, have I been just nailing these down? I love this for a summer beer. Dave, this is a great summer beer.
It goes away quickly.
It's a great summer beer. Man, if you're watching and you haven't tried Founders, if you haven't tried All Day Vacay, give it a try. Here's a great thing we got going on, Brian, with Founders. A lot of people watching from different parts of the country are saying, man, I don't know if I can get my hands on it. What's the deal? What is it, like founders.com, right? Talk to me.
If you
Yes, let me turn my. Sorry, Mike.
That's okay.
I'm training Paul on how to do the message board because
Still in training.
Jake's up there chasing his dreams.
That's okay.
Yeah, Founders.
Yeah, founders.com.
Founders app.
Founders app or founders.com.
That's right.
They have a little
Yes,
search
and you
bar.
you type in the beer you're looking for. They'll tell you the zip code where it's at.
Yep.
You go get it. Didn't work tonight.
That's
Dave,
awesome.
but
That's awesome.
We tried.
That's okay. Well, here's the other thing with Founders real quick is that it's only August, but believe it or not, Rebecca, the Oktoberfest is already appearing in stores. So head to the store, get some Oktoberfest. It's coming up quick. You know you want that beer. It's going to be good. Ike Live's also brought to you by Mystery Tackle Box. And, Brian, we will be doing an unboxing in the third segment. You know how we do it. We're going to be passing around the box, looking at all the cool goodies in there. And I got a cool story as we go on with the show about Mystery Tackle Box and Vegas and his partner Max. I got a very good story about MTB in a second here. But MTB is a great deal. It's like Christmas at your doorstep. Here's the great thing. If you're watching tonight and you're like, man, I got to get that thing, we're giving you a special offer tonight. Right, Beck? Here it goes. 30% off your first Elite Box or 50% off your first Pro Box. That's half off. That's good. That's a hell of a sale. All you have to do is use the promo code Ike Live.
Yes.
And you'll get that discount. So check them out. Mystery Tackle Box. They're a great company.
Yes. So we fished a Thursday nighter, Michael.
We did.
And we go jump right.
Let's jump right into it.
Dude.
Heck yeah.
That
Let's
was-
jump right into it.
That's pretty wild.
Dave, did you hear this whole story yet?
Yeah, he called me afterwards.
Becky's already heard it 1,000 times. Honestly, here's what I'm going to say to you. Like, I watched it go down. I saw it. It's my own son. Okay, take all that out of the equation. It was an unbelievable moment to watch this go down. It was. Do you know, like, when you can see something get to the next level? That's exactly what it was. Like, dude, Vegas is a great fisherman. I know he's a good fisherman, and he's got energy. He's got things I don't have. I always thought he was going to be a good fisherman. But I honestly watched him catch 2 fish on the front of the trolling motor, using the Ghost, dropping on them on active target. I don't even do this shit, Dave. And straight up win against some of the best fishermen in South Jersey on a lake that sucked. It was incredible. I'm still speechless about it, because it was like that. I honestly going to look back on it and remember it was that moment where he went from he's just a kid fishing to he's at the next level already at 11, dude.
Imagine like when the first technology piece was introduced to you, probably the color selector.
Imagine pH meter.
Imagine if like a time traveler said in the future you're going to have a kid and you're going to be behind him and you're going to watch the fish on a screen and drop down.
Dude, it's
on
incredible.
It. Like, you wouldn't believe it, you know.
It's absolutely blows me away, and I honestly, he's only used active target now for this year, and honestly, he's only used it hard for about a couple months. He used it at his youth tournament a few weeks ago, but in that short time, he has a way better understanding of how it works.
Dang.
And like, I'm trying to explain it. Like, what's the right way to explain it? Like I can see the fish, but he knows how to put his bait past the fish in the direction they're traveling. Does that make sense? Like,
it does.
He has an awareness of where to put his bait to get that swimming fish to bite.
Radar Riley.
It's very weird. And so, I don't know. Is it video games? Like, we're on them all the time about too much tablet time. But maybe that's a good thing. Is that helping him?
They understand technology and absorb it better than we do.
They do.
They conceptualize it much easier than we do.
They do.
And that's it. It's that simple, man.
But it was awesome. It was a proud moment.
But he's always had that visualization.
He has.
Just like even when he was like little. Remember years ago he'd be here and he's like, I knew they were in this city and I just had to pass the bait through the city.
Yeah, when he was younger.
Fish.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so he's always had this way of basically being able to visualize like what they're doing down there. So the screen has just helped him do that.
Yeah.
It's definitely what's the fancy? I think esoteric. I don't know. Some kind of it's definitely a next level view. I remember him explaining that.
Yeah.
How he was explaining their city and their town.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting to hear that.
Yeah. It was a cool moment to watch him do that, and I didn't catch one. I honestly never had a bass bite that night, and I caught a bluegill.
Yeah, so Brian told me he heard you from the other side of the lake.
Oh, I was freaking out.
But he could tell by the way you were freaking out, it wasn't you.
Oh no,
you were freaking out.
I know,
second person.
It was so great. Like, and the thing was, like, my heart was stopped. Like I was all choked up and worried because he's got this big fish on 6-pound leader, on a spinning rod. It's fighting. And I'm the net guy, so I'm like, I'm more nervous than him, you know? And like the moment it goes in the net, and it's like, that's the win. I knew that was the winning fish. It ended up not being the winning fish. He actually needed to catch the other one to win. Because I think Keith had
3.
He had 3 for 4 something.
Yeah.
And I think,
tanks, dude. Tanks. South Jersey tanks.
Yeah, South Jersey Classics. But it was a great
world class.
It was a good moment, right?
No, it was amazing, man. I was like, in that back pond. I was with South Philly Fred.
Yeah.
And we heard you start screaming, and we were analyzing the scream, and he's like trying to figure out what's going. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Vegas caught that one.
Oh yeah.
I was like, if Mike caught that, I might go make a Facebook post about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's got to be Vegas because your level of excitement was over the top.
It was great.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was great. Yeah, and it's twice in 2 weeks now. So almost the same thing happened. He fished nationals, the Bass Junior Youth National Championship last week in Tennessee, and it was awesome. He had his partner Max. He and Max, dude, I'm telling you. So Max is 13 or
He just turned 14.
just turned 14,
Okay.
and him and Vegas had to have this chemistry
Yeah.
where, dude, it very much reminded me of us a little bit. You know, like we kind of did our moms would drop us off at the lake, and we all have our own little thing that we would do, but we would feed off each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I watched them feed off each other.
Yeah.
But one of the coolest things that happened, this is the mystery tackle box tie-in, is in practice they fished a lot of different stuff. But the second day of practice, they got on the shallow bite, and Max pulls out these worms that he had gotten in a mystery tackle box.
Wow.
And it was basically like a cut tail, like a speed worm style bait. And something he didn't like throw a lot, but it was like he felt like it was right, and he, like all on his own. Like I wasn't like, hey, throw a speed. And he started catching them, and he rode it through the event. And Vegas threw a swim Senko, very similar, and that's how they did well. But it was cool because it's a great real example of mystery tackle boxing, putting something in your hands that you normally wouldn't buy.
It working
You know?
for a kid too is pretty rad.
Worked for a 14-year-old, so very, very cool mystery tackle box story. But 2 weeks in a row, it was cool to net a fish for Vegas that was a big one. A 4-pounder there and a 4-pounder in this tournament. They're game changers, in these tough tournaments. So
Well, you weren't allowed to net the one.
I couldn't net the one. I had to watch. So in their tournament, the only thing I was allowed to do was run the outboard. I could assist with the trolling motor, and I could help them call. Everything else I couldn't do.
I got you.
Could not do anything else. Zero.
No backlashes?
No backlashes.
How about braid to fluoro knots?
No braid to floor knots. Nothing. I had to sit
Wow.
there and watch. And I could coach though.
Yeah.
I could
Okay,
verbally coach,
okay, yeah.
which was cool. And so the first
You
day,
could berate them like the drunk dad on
well,
the sideline.
well,
at a
here,
soccer game.
well, here it goes. Here
You're
it goes.
gonna be the coach knight of bass fishing.
Well,
in the
here it
future,
goes.
dude.
Let me tell you.
Beating kids up.
So the first morning, dude, they were just, it's funny. I always talk to Beck about like energy levels and momentum. It's
Yeah.
a big thing in any
Huge,
sport.
huge.
But in fishing it is. So the first morning we had the storm delay, and for whatever reason, when we got to our first place, dude, they were on. Dude, it was 3 hours of them doing everything right.
Really?
Great cast, great hook sets, landing
Wow.
fish. I'm blown away. And they ended the first day in 9th. And I'm like, dude, they're going to do good. They just need to keep that momentum. And whatever happened that next morning, they were awful. It was dude, David, pained me so bad. They were, I don't know if it was a combination of nerves or, then the realization that they could win was there. Or I don't know
Yeah.
what it was.
Yep.
But they were doing everything wrong.
Oh my God.
They were missing fish. The cast sucked. Vegas, Max finally hooks a keeper. Vegas whacks it off like a tennis racket with the net. Literally smashes it off with the net. I'm like, I can't, I'm like biting my tongue and like everything's going wrong. They finally catch a keeper, like a 12-incher on the button. Vegas finally catches a good one, a 1.5-pounder. I'm like, yes, keep it. Dude, Max hooks a 3-pounder. A 3-pounder in that tournament is gold.
Yeah.
It's a Rolex sitting right
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
He's got it. It comes at Vegas grabs the net, starts coming. It jumps about 3 feet in front of the boat and throws the hook. Dude, I literally had my buff on, and I pulled my buff over my eyes, and I just collapsed on the front deck, and I just breathed for like a minute. I just took deep breaths because all the thoughts I'm like, they can't know what I'm thinking right now.
That's
I
right.
can't say a word.
Oh
They
my
cannot know. I can't curse. I can't do any of that. And I pulled it back down. I said, let's go. Let's keep going. And it was another about hour of awfulness. And then they made a move.
Poor kid.
They made a move. And maybe I should have encouraged a move earlier, but they made a move, and it refreshed them.
Yeah.
And they got in a new area.
Does that?
Vegas caught keeper 3. Max
Yeah.
caught keeper 4.
Yeah.
Vegas catches keeper 5. Then Vegas catches the 4-pounder. Dude, all like, and I'm like, at that moment, I'm like yelling at them, you feel this? Like, will you see what's happening? You guys I could see a glow. Like, keep this. and they kept it for like 2 hours. They kept this energy, and it was 2 different kids that were in my boat in the first part of the day. It was 2 totally different kids. It was the most amazing thing.
That's awesome.
And they ended the day catching fish and culling and stayed in 9th based on that late charge, that last couple hours.
Man. That's
so
awesome, dude.
it was so cool, you know.
That's
So,
beautiful,
but here's
man.
here's what happened though. So they show up like
Put that mic a little closer to your mouth. Just
they had a good practice, you know, but then you have to show up at this registration meeting.
yeah.
And, you know, they're really proud of themselves. They designed their own jersey. Like, it was totally awesome.
Awesome.
But then you show up at this registration meeting. You find out there's 64 other boats with 2 kids. And every kid there is, like, decked out in, like, the tournament jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, with at least 20 sponsors.
Dude, they are hard. Dude, the most hardcore fishing kids you'll ever see in your life. It's actually... It was intimidating to me.
It was so intimidating for them.
Like the
Yes.
look of like these aren't even kids. Like the look of tournament death, you know, and like
Kids doing one-arm push-ups on the boat ramp.
and even their captains, who in many cases were their dads or like state coaches or
Hired
whatever.
guides.
Dude, serious. Like this I was intimidated,
like they're in
you know?
matching tournament jerseys
Oh, yeah.
with them.
I
mean,
was
it
even intimidated. I'm like, oh damn. I'm like, we in a real tournament.
It was like we were the Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like
We're
we
from Jersey. We don't get catch anything here. We catch 12 inchers. We're happy.
I don't know.
Paul,
if you guys.
Paul catches 2.5 pounders. That's a giant.
Hold on, you
For South
guys don't get to claim Mighty Duck status.
Nah,
dude.
maybe not Mighty
Let me tell
Ducks.
you something.
Call 'em out,
Fishing
James.
against Vegas is like
I
wrestling
know.
Kelsey Anderson's son.
But I'm just,
You know what I mean? Like-
I'm just
Keep
saying,
honest.
I'm just saying, like how they felt. You know what I mean? Like I think they felt good about their practice. Then you show up and you're like,
Oh, yeah. There's
oh
other
my gosh,
killers here,
they
too.
had this moment of like, do we belong here?
Yeah.
So I think, you know, that delay the next morning in some ways almost helped them because we all kind of hung out. Like our families all
We
got
had a
along.
weather delay, yeah.
And we all just kind of hung out in the rain and we're laughing. And then they got to interact a little bit more with some of the other kids fishing the tournament because we're all like jammed in these little areas, stay away from the rain. And everyone was super nice, and I think everything relaxed a little bit.
Yeah.
So when they got out on the water, everything was way more relaxed. I don't think they ever thought they had a chance to end up in the top 10. So then when they ended up in the top 10, they had this mix of, oh my gosh, we could do this and pull this off. And like this anxiety of, like I think there was too many emotions. They were tired, they were overwhelmed, and oh my gosh, we really have to be perfect and we could win. So I think the second morning they put too much pressure on themselves.
I think watching Mike coach bass fishing might be the most interesting thing I could see. Like to give you a clipboard to slam and oh my god, dude.
Yeah, and there's a fine line.
You'd make Mike Dickett look like fucking you know,
I
like
mean,
a kindergarten
I
teacher.
honestly like when all that negative was gone down, like I'm just trying to refocus them, you know, like come on guys, like, you know, like couple of the things that I was trying to at 11 and 14, and Brian, you know I'm a stickler for this. At 11 and 14, they don't have an understanding that every second is important.
And every bite.
Every second, every bite's important. So like that second morning, like they're fiddling around and I don't have any fish in the boat yet. I'm like, you know, and I'm like trying to coach them with that. And then like they have a tendency to want to make the same cast over and over. You know, so I'm like trying to constantly and I'm like, it's like pizza, like cutting a pizza. Like, dude, make a cast, make the next cast another slice. It's a pizza. Cut the water up in front of you. You know, I'm like trying to coach in such a way. I'm frustrated and mad inside, but I'm trying to keep them positive, trying to turn it positive, even though it was killing me, you know?
I can't wait till like you can coach Vegas the way you think, because that needs to be recorded.
It'll never be good. It won't. The personalities won't mesh if he does
man,
that.
I love that style of coaching, dude. That's the best.
Yeah.
I think this is good, dude. I think this might possibly help you. You know? What do you think, Beck? You're keenly aware of what we're talking about?
This is going to help Michael.
Yes.
Help me with my anger management?
You know, a lot of things.
It's tough because Vegas's personality is more my personality.
It's way your personality.
So it's they kind of want to kill each other sometimes. Like when Mike becomes too intense, Vegas is like, "Can you be my boat captain?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. I think this can help them.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
I think the student can become the teacher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It could.
Big time.
I mean, you really think
because he
we're
won't
gonna
listen to any of the rest of us?
You think
No.
at 50 he's really going to calm down though because Vegas said calm down?
Yes.
I can't fish as slow as Vegas. Like I wouldn't have dropped on those fish because I would have been 10 foot away already. Next cast, you know.
I know.
He just he just puts down there, you know.
That's cool, man.
Here's the best part though. Mike's phone hasn't been working well lately. Like reception's shoddy. Like the phone goes in and out. You can't even hear him half the time when he's talking on the phone.
Yeah.
So, but the only text messages that came through during the entire tournament were like
I'm trying to keep back in the loop.
the horrific, the end of the world text messages. Never like Vegas caught a 4-pounder. It's the oh God, they lost another one. They can't put a fish in the boat. Da, da, da. Like, so I think that they're zeroing. Nothing's happening. Like it's absolutely horrific. Like we're not even gonna have 5 fish in the boat.
It's like being on a mic'd up with the NFL, like hearing the coaches actually complain about what's going wrong. That telling you, Mike, there's something to that.
Oh yeah.
Watching you coach kids,
Yeah.
that would be hilarious, dude.
Well,
It
was a good experience.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it. I
But
hope
you
I
got
get to do
lucky.
it
You got
again.
2 really good
I
kids.
got 2 good kids. I got 2 good kids that were good fishermen.
Yeah.
That did listen.
Yeah.
You know, I think they learned some stuff. You
And
know,
they listened to each other, which was really interesting.
Was
They
good.
really fed off each other.
Yeah, they did.
It was
And that-
cool.
A good team, when you fish bass team tournaments, that's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to both do the same thing and you're on top of each other, it never works. You got to be able to do different stuff and feed off each other and work together. You know,
Yep.
they did a good job at that. So
Yeah. It was a good week.
It was fun. It was fun. Let me remind you, if you're watching tonight, we want to hear from you. Please hit us up on our instant messaging. Paul's going to put some through. Also, if you're over on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we're going to occasionally check the feed at Ike Live Show. Yes, Brian, what do you got?
Paul, do we have any good comments on the
Yeah,
message
actually
board
we
there?
do.
All right.
Vegas is casting to his belief of best strikes. He may say fan casting is a waste. You know what I mean? It's like, I get what he's saying,
Yeah.
finesse.
Yeah.
A lot of these pressured lakes and whatnot
yeah.
in South Jersey, finesse,
Yeah.
that's the ticket, especially to those big ones.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And what I told them about that cutting the pizza is I said that every cast you should be a little different unless you had a bite or unless there's something there that's key, right? Yeah, if there's a freaking stick there, cast at it 2 or 3 times. If you get a bite or you think you had a bite, cast back.
Yeah.
If not, dude, it should not be the same exact cast. Go 6 inches to the right. Go 10 inches
I
to
do
the
that.
Be more demonstrative and express your emotions.
But don't you ever get caught I get caught doing that sometimes, like the same cast, because in my mind, I just know there's
Yeah,
one
there's something lit
right
there.
I know
that's
he's
okay.
right there, and
That's
he's
okay.
watching
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Oh, the interesting thing about the casting too. This is funny. So I had several other coaches come up to me throughout the event, and they're like, "Man, I saw Vegas from a mile away. I know his cast," and I'm like, I had several coaches say that to me, and I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm like, started to think about it, and I'm like, "Dude, he has the most unique cast I've ever seen. He actually shoots from the hip." So like most people they cast in front of them, right? Like a normal angler, bait caster spinning, you throw pretty much in front of you, center, right? Mm-hmm. He shoots from the hip. He actually he casts both sides, but he does it low from the hip. It's a really unique cast, and I actually didn't even think about it until they said that. And I'm like, it's kind of cool, He's got his own little casting style.
He just taught himself.
What's even funnier is there's probably 20 million youth coaches in the world. Not one of them probably would have ever thought that a angling coach would notice someone's angling cast.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, yeah.
You know what I mean? No,
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that
Yeah.
to recognize a cast.
Yeah, I did. I honestly did like coaching though, and I think coaching at a higher level, whether it's high school or college, I think would be awesome. Like, do you see the sport? Do you see college bass fishing getting to the point where somebody could make a good salary coaching? Like, there are coaches now, but I don't know if it's legitimate.
Yeah, I don't. It depends. How does it play on TV? Having a coach, the only way it plays is if it's interesting and fun and educational to watch. So I don't know.
Right.
No, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
You think it's ridiculous?
Yeah.
No, why? But why not? I'm like, how much would a good tennis coach
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's
make?
there's
You know what I mean?
colleges
Like, you don't see them.
Right,
but there's TV and
tennis is
endorsement.
Like, yeah, tennis is like a rich people sport, like
and
rowing.
they sell out
boats and-
arenas.
Yeah,
Pete played tennis.
We have the Lee brothers in fishing.
that's right. And they had to pay their own way to get in.
I'm just saying there are colleges with high end
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
Bethel and
Auburn,
Mount
Alabama.
Auburn and
Yeah.
Other Bethel.
the other, right? That I could see them soliciting a coach and paying a coach a salary. You know, I could
That
see
would be cool.
I could see that day coming.
I actually would find that more interesting to watch, like a you or a Swindle or like a Brower type in a boat with college kids barking at them than
awesome.
anything else.
Oh yeah,
You
I'd
know?
love
And they'd
to
be
see
like,
Brower.
"Who is this?"
Brower's intimidating.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him bark.
That's
at
not
a
John
kid.
B. Who is this? Sorry.
Who's John B?
Oh, YouTube guy.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that day will come, but we'll see.
Beck?
Beck, let's catch up with the Ike Foundation real quick. While we have a little dead air here. Ike Foundation.
I'm just trying to stay awake.
I know. Ike Foundation had a great event right before we left for
Yes.
Nationals down on Lums.
Yes.
Really great event. Hot day.
It was so hot.
Stagnant, and they still caught fish. I was so
They
proud
still
of them.
caught fish.
But Ike Foundation we have a couple stuff coming.
Yeah,
here.
so
What do
we
got?
have one more kids event. This one's on Union Lake here in South Jersey, September 17th. So we still have plenty of room.
That's
if people
Paul and
wanna-
Brian's stomping grounds, Union Lake.
Oh, yeah.
If people want to sign
is.
up, we're also taking any captains so that we can have more kids sign
El
up who
Capitano.
may not have.
You're going to go down there, Paul? Be a
boat.
scoutmaster? What are you doing?
I mean, I don't have a boat, but you know,
Well, figure it out. We might
Maybe.
be able to.
Yeah.
We get Brian. You still have the inflatable at Dot's house?
No, we sold the house.
You sold the
and-
house and the inflatable.
And the boat's been going for about 40 years.
Yeah,
40, 50.
it's a great boat.
I figured it was in the corner of that aluminum garage next to the.
It was sunk.
looked.
It was sunk with an arky jig, right through the hole.
Yeah.
Why did the double barb never take off?
Don't know. Two barbs harder to penetrate. I don't know.
I don't know. Why didn't it take off?
I don't know.
Arky Jig had the double barb.
Double barb. Yep.
Like they had the first big hook of all the jigs. No one else had a hook like that. It was the first stout hook that I can remember.
Yeah.
Then maybe like not Riverside. Then Lunker Lure came
Because
along.
Stanley hook was always a little. It was never.
It
a
was-
But that
stout
was in
hook.
the day of,
It was
of
shaky.
monofilament, so.
It was the day. Of
Right, we weren't
monofilament.
setting the hook with
No,
braid.
But Arkies would still hold up today with heavy braid. It was a thick hook with double
Right.
barbs.
But you were trying to set the hook with a 6.6 to 7 foot rod on monofilament with that Arky hook.
But their weed guard was
timing was
horrible, dude. You used to have to trim that weed guard unmercifully just to be able to get a hook set into that. You know,
Rattleback, triple rattleback.
never liked the triple. I always liked the single.
The single
Still
rattleback.
throw the singles.
Yeah, they jumped the shark with the triple.
Triple was terrible.
Yeah. Beck?
So back to the Ike Foundation.
Sorry about that.
We also have our kayak event coming up this fall, Lake Nakamixon on October 2nd.
Yeah, I got to sign up for that. I keep forgetting.
You fishing that?
Yeah, I'm gonna fish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got some big stuff and some more fun prizes getting thrown into the mix there. So I know we'll be announcing that in the next couple weeks, which is super fun.
Way totally rad.
What and just to remind people, if they're watching and they say that they're in this area, they're in tri-state area, and they got a kid, what are the ages for the kids that want to sign up fish this tournament?
It's starting at age 8 all the way through high school. So
8 to 18.
8 to 18,
Okay.
yeah. So we
Cripple, lame or
do
crazy.
2 age groups for awards and everything, but 8 to 18
Very cool.
for the kids. So we've got the kayak event this fall, and then we definitely are doing the scholarship dinner in January. So everyone make sure
Oh, yeah.
it's always that last Friday in January.
Everybody got your COVID already showed, so we can have it again.
Pete's home cooking a new strain.
She
of
just
Cobra
questioned
right now.
why she married you with that expression. I just looked at it, dude.
The buck teeth.
Well, and the one button's unbuttoned on his
One
shirt.
button's-
It keeps staring at it. So I'm like, well,
sorry.
how'd you miss a button?
Well, I don't know.
That's a rad shirt, dude.
Thank you. It's Quincy. It's actually Quincy on there.
Is it?
It's
actually
Quincy.
Oh, I thought you actually found a shirt that looked like him.
No,
That's
it's
amazing.
Quincy.
Wow.
It is Quincy. It's actually Quincy. Let me give you a. Hold on. I'll give you a close up.
Oh, God.
He's saying, this is Quincy the dog.
Wow.
This was one of his birthday presents from me this year. I had Quincy put on a Hawaiian shirt.
That's fantastic.
And Mike was scared of all the other coaches.
Yeah. Scared of the coaches.
He's got his own dog on his shirt, man.
Too hardcore. I love my dog. I love my dog. I might get Quincy tattooed on my ass cheek. I love
Oh,
it.
shit.
You know?
Right in the middle.
Quincy this. Yeah, what was it? What was the one night you kept saying I had to, what was it, green?
What?
What were you saying, Brian? Green butthole? What was the
I didn't say that.
Oh, that
I
was,
had nothing,
that was Brodzik bachelor party.
I had nothing to do with
And
the
we're
green.
in segment 1. This is segment 3 stuff.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, if you want to know anything else about the Ike Foundation, if you want to make a donation, if you want to request a donation because you have an organization who needs to put on a kids event, just head over to the IkeFoundation.org. Everything you need about the foundation is there.
Yes.
Brian, you got eggs over easy close to that thing, man. We'll talk about it against third segment.
Wait,
but-
what? What are you talking about?
Ah, we'll talk about it later.
All right. So let's catch up on a couple more things.
Danger
real quick.
close.
There's things to catch up on still.
Let's catch up on a couple more things real quick. Brian Carpenter.
All right.
iCast.
Right now?
You want to do iCast?
No, let's
all
take
right.
commercial break, come back with our first
All right,
guest.
let's do that.
And then we'll wrap with that
All right.
stuff.
We'll do that. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Super spreader?
Yeah. super
Yeah,
spreader.
iCast is a super spreader. There's
Take us home,
iCast
Michael.
at home.
I did not get the vid. Thank you.
Beck didn't get the vid. Okay. Hang in there, man. We got 2 segments left. We'll get the miners joining us here in just a second. Hang in there. When we come back, more Ike Live Show.
And they light up, you know? The big thing I think for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
Yeah.
Be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation, ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us. We're proud of it.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward and at the end of the journey? What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way? What if we celebrated taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? What if? Founders All Day IPA. Low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Chase your what if.
All right, Brian, Torquedo today. We've got the Ike Live Tiny Boat out. I want to tell you, this is not just for electric-only reservoirs. It's for other things as well. Today is a great example. Where are we? What are we going to take this thing through today?
The Upper Susquehanna.
Upper Susquehanna River.
That's right.
Current, rock,
Lots of
nasty
it.
bottom,
Yep.
and we're going to use Torquedo.
Everybody else running jet drives. We've got the rock guard on the Torquedo. We're going to some small spots. We're
Yep.
gonna get in there. We're going to make it happen.
There you go.
Let's go.
Shallow water, speed, strength, power. Come on, let's go.
Consistency.
There you have it, folks. Folks at home, welcome back. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday night. I know we are. This is an early show tonight, Beck, which is nice. Like right now, I feel like it could be 10 o'clock, when in fact, it's only 8 p.m.
Wow.
How about
Dude,
that?
we started at 8.
Yeah, we were late as
we didn't
shit,
start
bro.
at 8. Now,
No,
we
it
started-
is-
we were 15
it is
minutes
8.
late.
Jeez, dude.
We were 15 minutes late.
Time-
It wasn't that bad.
Time drags.
Let me remind you, if you're watching over on Facebook, please like and share the feed. If you do that, we're going to put you in a contest to win the world-famous Ike Life gift bag loaded with sponsored products. Weighs about 20 to 30 pounds.
300.
Share that feed. You're going to be entered to win that contest. Also encourage you, man, if you got questions, comments during the show, we got some great guests coming up. Please shoot them through. Paul, shoot them messages through. We're going to get them through. And if your question's really good, Brian, we got stuff laying around. If the question's really, really good,
That's right.
we'll get your address. And
Where's
we'll get you
Becky's
some
pig
stuff.
behind there? David over there?
Yeah, we got
Becky's
we
pig.
got Beck's hog. We got Dave's
Beck's
hair
hogs.
piece from the skit we did.
Somebody could
a
win
while
it.
back. There's your hair piece back there. That's still there. So we got a lot of stuff we can give away.
I don't even remember wearing that.
Yeah.
Island Boy.
Island
God.
Boy
Oh,
skit
God.
we
I
did.
forgot that like an assault victim.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
Brian, are we,
It's like I know.
Pete, Becky, PvP. Oh, God. Sorry about the title.
look at all that. It's it's totally.
Oh, do
wrong.
it again. Do it again. I liked it.
The Ruckus?
What was all that?
I want to be Pete.
All that. Pete, Becky, PBP bras.
Hold on. Look, let's just roll like that. All night long.
Yeah,
Mark
Jeffries.
Jeffries.
Hey, everybody. I'm retired. Been retired for about a minute.
So, Paul, you've kind of branded the Powerbait Paul thing is really taken on. I would say locally and nationally to a certain extent.
It's catchy.
Do you like this new the PBP? Do you like the
yeah.
the acronym? You like
Oh,
that
yeah,
too?
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
It's up there with GDP and BTC.
It is.
Wow.
It is. Wow.
GDP,
Well-
gross domestic product. Like, what are you even talking about?
Greg Dan.
Greg's gonna
Greg
kick
Dan
ya.
Palmer.
Well, BTC has a guy, so you could also have one
We
hat
might.
and one shirt.
Yes.
I didn't even know Greg DePalma
Yes.
was GDP. I did.
Paul, I'm already scheming your logo. I'm already in my mind. I'm already thinking.
What
The
are
only
you
thing-
thinking about?
Well, the only thing I'm thinking of is if we actually created a logo, we came out with merch and all that. Would if we use the term power bait, would that be would it be infringement?
Yes.
Would we be worried? Should we be worried?
All right, but
That's-
Why not just a
Totally.
giant? How
Hold
about
on a second.
I mean-
let's not go down the legalese way.
But
lawyers,
this is a
scumbags. Let's talk about what his logo would be.
a
because
big giant hook with a red goatee hanging off the back of it? That's what
Yes. Yes. I like it.
You were looking at me with
what is
disdain,
yours,
and now you like
Brian?
me.
No, I'm thinking like Red Porco or something like that.
Yeah, like a
Porco.
big giant silver hook with a red goatee hanging off the ass of it.
Black
Wait.
black jig, pink pork.
What is your logo?
BTC.
BTC.
I thought there would be more of like a carpenter reference.
I didn't make it. Just,
Carpentry.
yeah.
Carpentry
Yeah.
should
The
be
T
it.
could be a hammer.
Yeah.
A saw, maybe
Yeah.
a saw
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
And Paul,
Yeah.
we could always pull in the
T
Jurassic
could have
Park.
been a hammer.
Yeah.
Yo,
Right. So it could be Paul's head on a T-Rex
I kind of like
with
that.
with a rod in his hand.
Yes.
Right.
And we can
yeah.
use
And-
the
and-
similar font.
and a guardrail behind me.
And the guardrail.
Right. Right.
This is the guardrail guardian.
Yep.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes, I love it.
But yeah, that really is a good question though. If that would be a copyright infringement, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a terrible question.
Well,
How about
terrible question.
How about,
I mean,
how about a no trespassing sign with a big orange goatee?
Yes.
That's a
with a
good one.
guardrail under it.
Yes.
Now let me tell you though. In all seriousness,
So I'm really curious about it.
Paul. Let me tell you the sure bet way around the trademark copyright infringement.
Have McGraw draw it?
No,
Spell
which
it
is
different.
what our good friend Ed Bassmaster did, which is Ed Bassmaster's last name is actually Bassmaster
He
now.
legally changed
He
it.
legally changed his last name. So, Paul, if you legally change your first name to Powerbait,
Yes.
Your mother
get
will be so
around this.
proud.
They can't do nothing about it.
listen,
Oh, man.
we can do this. We have a
This is
legal
going to happen.
team here
We're
at Pro
doing
Edge.
this. Oh, we're
We
doing
can do this. So you're keeping the Paul. We're just legally adding
to it.
Powerbait
Oh,
to your
man.
name. Think about this, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Paul just
a
became
prefix.
his middle name.
Well, it can become his middle name.
Yeah.
I like it better as his middle name.
Paul, you drink yet? You're still not drinking? Maybe tonight?
I might need one after all this.
You're lucky Brian
Mama
don't go out no more. You'd already been drinking.
All right. All right, enough of the ridiculousness here. Brian, I am very excited
they're ready.
about our next guest. If you follow fishing like I do, you know these names. And it was bittersweet for me because last week I had to captain. I wanted to captain. I was captaining Vegas at the Junior Youth National Championship. But I really wanted to be on the Upper Susquehanna. I love that fishery, and I love fishing the Hobie BOS event. So I got to watch from afar history in the making. And we had two brothers finish first and second, which is pretty freaking awesome. Joining us now via what? How do we have them patched in here? Is this like satellite? What is this?
Yeah, electronics.
Via electronics. We've got the Minor Clan, Nolan, Ewing, and Todd. Dad is Todd's the dad. Hi guys. Hi.
Hey, can y'all see us now? I don't know. How's it going?
How you doing tonight?
Doing all right. Just sitting down after work. Actually got off of work earlier to come join on the show.
Heck
Nice.
yeah.
What do you do?
I work at Bass Pro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm amazed they let you off early. Did you tell them what you were going to do?
Yeah, they would have kept you if they knew you were going to do the Ike Live show.
This is true.
I told my boss, I said, so I'm supposed to go on Ike Live at 7, and I was scheduled to work until 9, and he said, all right, just make sure someone else is here, and you're fine.
Okay.
Wow.
That's not bad. Now, there's a little bit of a tie-in here real quick. When I was a young man, around these guys' age,
No.
I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods in the lodge. So very similar. Do you feel like working at Bass Pro, is that helping you in your career of fishing? Is it a good gig, or using it as a springboard?
It's just something to do. It's pretty close by.
Okay.
Decent, good discount, and it's really our management at our particular store is great. And as far as getting off for tournaments, school, they're understanding about that, and that's the main reason I work there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I feel like those same things for me when I worked at Dick's, but I honestly feel like looking back on it, it was a great introduction to like dealing with the public, with the general public. It was a great introduction to working with people and, talking about products. You know what I mean? Like, I was still pretty young.
I remember as a kid wishing that I lived near a Bass Pro that I could walk to.
Oh, I know.
It'd be like a devout Catholic wanting to live next to the Vatican. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to actually, go to one and not order. I mean, we used to have to call the operator and give the codes to the things you were ordering.
Catalogs were king back then.
Dude, you couldn't wait for that new catalog to
And they
come
were
in.
those little old Southern ladies, and they had no idea what you were talking about. So you had to have
You had to have the order number. Yeah. You had the item number.
And they were long, too, dude.
Oh, yeah.
There was letters and numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I wish I worked at a Bass Pro when I was a kid.
Have you ever had anyone come in the Bass Pro Shops and asked for a lure or a rod or a reel for carpies?
I have not.
Okay.
But I work in the marine department and sell, electronics. But
okay.
I'm sure the fishing department, they have a few interesting stories about stuff like that.
Yeah, I've had a few of those myself. Guys, I want to jump right into it. Let's talk about last week up at the Susquehanna. Amazing fishery, low water. Talk about it. I want to hear from all three of you guys. How was the event? How was the fishing? Did practice turn into how you caught them, or was it something that just happened?
Yeah, practice was pretty good, and fishing during the tournament was good as well. Ewing's practice was kind of tougher than mine was, but I was there for a little longer than he was. I got there on Wednesday. And since we're brothers and we're trying to do the whole information sharing thing and working together, I was able to kind of steer him in the right direction when things, because he got second place there last year.
Yeah.
Water was way different. He went back to the same area and stuff. Just, he wasn't able to relocate those same fish, is my understanding.
Gotcha. It's such an interesting fishery from a standpoint of fishing it in a kayak, because you can portage, right, in that event, and you can get out of the kayak, you can push in, push over, you can do downstream drifts. Did you guys utilize any of those techniques to do well?
I was doing what they call the single access, where you put in and, you fish around as comfortable as far as you can comfortably go from your launch, and then you take out at the same launch. I think Ewing did a float.
Gotcha.
I did a float, but the way that I was doing my float, it was to where I was coming from downstream of the fish. You know how the Susquehanna, it's got all sorts of islands. I was coming on the main channel side and then swinging around and coming from downstream of the fish. So I just had to hit more places throughout the day than Nolan, because obviously he found a better population of fish.
Gotcha.
Were you guys near the Statue of Liberty?
No.
The baby Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
We're not. You got to watch my YouTube video if you want to see where we were fishing.
Well, what's your YouTube channel for people listening?
It's just my name on YouTube, Nolan Miner.
Okay.
But I got both days on YouTube. They're already up.
All right, cool. I'll check that out, man.
Yeah, the Susquehanna to me is a very interesting fishery, and it's, dude, Dave, I know you fish there too. Mm-hmm. Those smallmouth are vicious.
They're horrible.
Vicious.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're terrible. Like, I've never seen a 2-pounder fight that hard before.
They're mean, man. Think about where they live.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah. They live in a harsh environment.
Yeah. What were some of the patterns that worked for you guys? What was the deal? How did you catch them?
You know what that is, Mike?
Hey, Bri, zoom up on that. Hang on. Hold it right there, buddy. There we go.
What is that thing?
Yeah, look
Looks
at
like
that.
a spider. Looks like a spider.
Show it again, Nolan.
Just so you know, we can see you like this big from where we're sitting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you see that?
Look at that, dude.
What is that?
It's like a cicada.
Listen.
John Cicada?
What is that?
It's a bait that Evergreen makes. It's called a gizmo, Evergreen gizmo.
Wow.
It's a floating bug. It's made out of elastomer, so it's like not quite like a Z-Man plastic. It's a little tougher than that.
Okay.
Tougher
But
than
it floats. And yeah, it does look like a cicada, because that's what they were eating. And that's kind of how we tricked some of those bigger, wiser smallmouth in the low, clear water.
What hook are you rigging on that?
It has a hook in it. It's a number 2 hook that's already.
You can't see it from here. Oh, okay, now I can see it that angle. Oh, okay. But wow, that's awesome, dude.
That thing is badass.
Dude, it's less than an eighth of an ounce.
Less than an eighth.
Slightly less than an eighth. I did the math.
Wow.
Yeah, I did conversions and
wow.
So long rod, braid, I guess, I'm assuming, to make that cast?
Yeah, I was using a 7.2 medium light with 10-pound braid to a 8-pound trilene leader. Just some good old mono, because, you had to have it float fluorocarbon and kind of make it dive. Or I'll take that back. And you'll hear this from us a couple times, because we're brothers. We're kind of butting heads. Ewing started using fluorocarbon because his fish were running him around rocks, and I think he broke off one. So he, despite the fluorocarbon kind of pulling the bait down, decided that the abrasion resistance was more important. I just wanted the buoyancy, so I fished mono.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So I did have not one but 2 fish break me off during the tournament, and the second one, Nolan only gave me 2 of the gizmos because they were hard to get your hands on. He didn't have enough to just be handing them out to me, but I followed the fish around until it jumped and threw my bait got it back, and that's when I switched to the fluorocarbon leader because I was not trusting mono around the rocks anymore.
Wow, that's pretty hardcore.
That's awesome.
Yeah, every time I try to do that, they jump and throw it, and then the bait sinks, and I never get it back.
Yeah.
You know, it sinks or it goes down current. I can't find it. Wow. I give you credit. You actually deserve bonus points for that, in my opinion.
Applause.
Yeah, a round of applause, too, for that. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
He also doesn't have 50-year-old eyes, so he probably couldn't
That's
see
true.
it.
I can't see anything.
You're right. He just like saw it like the whole time.
Yeah, I can't see anything. I'm going to ask this question. I know there's a lot of people watching that love kayak fishing. They fish the Hobies, they fish the KBF, they fish Bassmasters.
The Ike Foundation.
Ike Foundation. You guys have had a lot of success in the kayak world.
Too much.
In a short period of time. You really have. I just want to hear it from you guys. Like, why do you think that is? Because I'm telling you, a lot of people are watching right now thinking, how the hell are these kids so good on a kayak that quick? Give us some juice here. Like, how do you get good at kayak fishing? What makes you good at kayak fishing?
You start them early.
Yeah. Yeah. How early are we talking about?
I think Ewan was probably 8 or 9.
Wow.
I'm not sure. He was pretty young.
Yeah.
My first experience in a kayak was not a good one either.
Is there a story to this?
Did we turn over?
I guess I can go in there. So we going down to the beach and stuff. We throw the kids out, and it's slick, calm water. They can't get in any trouble. So we venture out on a summer trip down the river. We throw Ewan in a kayak, and he goes down, gets lodged up on a rock. The raging current coming by him. He's never experienced that as a kid. He go out in a pond, and everything's perfect. And he thought he was going to die, and got his mom in the kayak. He jumped in the canoe with me, and we went down the river, I don't know, several hours. And I talked to him about where the rocks were in the river, how to read the water, the currents and everything, and put him back in the kayak. He'd play for a little bit, and he and his mom would switch back and forth through the day. And that was his introduction to kayaking.
Yeah, I figured it was going to be almost killed your kid moment. I figured that's where it was going.
He wasn't in danger, but yeah, he was pretty shook up about it.
I mean, Todd, you're on your way to being like the Archie Manning of bass fishing, dude.
It's awesome though. I like what you said because I think, man, when I look at successful athletes in any sport, right, not just fishing, you always see an early introduction to the sport. You know what I mean? You see kids that have developed a passion from it from a very early age.
A lot of them have badass dads.
Badass
like
dads.
Todd, you know what I mean?
Badass dads,
yeah.
or just passing that passion on.
Sure.
And if they click and they gravitate toward it, it's development of a great athlete.
For sure.
So it's cool to see that. It's really cool to see that progression. Super cool.
Athlete.
Am I saying that wrong?
No, you said it right.
Hats off to you guys for doing the parenting that you guys do. I keep up with some of your adventures that you post up. Some fun times, and congrats to Little Vegas on his work he's doing.
Thank you. Yeah, Todd, I might need some advice. Earlier in the show, I'm at the stage now where I'm like becoming like part dad but part coach. Like when we fish, I'm trying to teach him and coach him. Is there such a thing as being too hard on him? Like I don't know, because I'm still trying to figure it out. But
well, he threw a headset at him. He's not.
Yeah, I find myself like wanting to critique stuff, but I don't know if you know what I mean. It's like hard because I'm a fish head, So I'm throwing that at him at 11, and I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, well, I'm not a bass fisherman, so there's not a whole lot of coaching coming from me. I taught them on rivers, streams, a lot of trout fishing growing up.
Yeah.
With them, and I guess that's where the stream, being able to read the water.
Yeah.
That was a key factor this past week.
Where'd you grow up, Todd?
Southwest Virginia in Abingdon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and we still get down there every chance we can, down around Damascus. Tremendous trout waters down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beck, what do you think about it?
What do I think about it? Well, no, my question is, so if you taught them trout fishing, when did the boys transition to bass fishing? Or like when did this shift happen that you guys took more to
great question.
Bass fishing? And was it always out of a kayak? Were you guys bank fishermen? Was there ever a boat involved? I mean, what was the progression here?
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'll let the boys chime in. 6 years ago today, Nolan finished second in the high school national championship.
Dang.
And that was the day that opened his eyes that, hey, I can compete with these guys.
Yeah.
It was just little local stuff up to that point. And then little brother Ewing, 4 years behind him, was starting to grab onto it in the high school club. Then there's a third brother in between the two of them. Chatted with Ronnie Moore about this earlier in the week. There's a chance that Ronnie Moore might get to cover him in the Saltwater series that he's hosting now on the East Coast next year in a billfish tournament that Ewan will be, or Wyatt will be competing in. So that's pretty cool that's all coming around.
Very cool.
I'll let the boys take over from on where the bass fishing started out.
Yeah, for me, I want to say my junior year of high school was the first time that I stepped foot in a bass boat. I'm pretty sure is when that happened for me. But we were fishing for anything that had fins from, I don't know when we exactly started, very, very young. We were constantly chasing down fish, however that took place, whether if it was on a pond, bushwhacking down some creek near the house, or in somebody's boat. I mean, kayak, and we kind of did it all. But yeah, I started fishing probably the same stuff. Well, I guess I didn't start as early as Vegas because he's on the junior side, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I started, it was the high school stuff. But I have been a boat captain. Probably, were you at Carroll County Lake?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I boat captained there for some guys that came from the same high school team as me, but this was once I was already in college.
That's pretty cool.
There. But yeah, we've kind of done a whole bunch of once we got into the high school fishing stuff, it kind of just took off from there.
Yeah.
And where was your high school? Where's your high school?
Central Virginia. So our high school didn't actually have a fishing team, but if your high school doesn't have a team, I think they let you, if you're willing to drive to another high school, you can join their team. And so that's what we did. We fished with a neighboring county.
Nice.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
yeah.
I remember my first high school tournament. It was the Potomac River, Aquia, and Potomac Creek. We're limited to that. Those are the only creeks on the Potomac that I've fished that I haven't liked at all. I caught 0 bass. I lost 4 pounds in the last 5 or 6 minutes on the bridge right in front of the ramp. But that was my first time ever being in a bass boat. I remembered blast off, we were in a smaller boat, seeing the rooster tails going past us. That got me all sorts of fired up to keep doing it. And my second tournament was the same place, and I caught a 4-pounder off the same bridge piling that I lost the one off of, and won with 1 bass.
Wow. Sounds like Jersey.
One with 1 bass?
For the takeoff, dude, the rooster tails, but also in order to have the rooster tails be majestic, you need the smell of the outboard engines also.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing. The whole thing. The noise, the excitement.
Yep.
Or an outfall pipe.
Yeah, it's funny you said that about the rooster tail, because on Carroll County Lake, which is little, Brian, it's literally 1,000 acres. 1,000-acre reservoir is what it's called.
Is that where you were at?
Yeah, it's 1,000 acres. It's a small lake.
1,000.
But in the tournament, for Vegas and his partner Max, I purposely went as fast as I could the whole time, and I would seriously, and I did this for that reason, because I can remember that. Like, I remember being in my dude. It's exciting. But I would, every once in a while, I'd look over at Vegas and Max, and they're holding on for dear life. Their cheeks are pushed back. But I'm like, but then when we'd stop, you could see yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But that is an exciting part of the sport.
I just survived death. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still in the boat. I didn't fly out.
Right.
Half my tackles still in. Yeah.
Bags of Senkos just flying out the back.
Right, holding on. Yeah.
It's
So
awesome.
I was laughing. I can remember. I mean, it's 1,000 acres, but you can't run the whole lake wide open.
No.
Like a lot of it's an idle zone. So you were moving around in some pretty confined waters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Small body of water. Well, that's awesome. An early start. The high school program, obviously,
High school
has been huge for the sport. It's amazing.
Dude, let's
But-
have our Uncle Rico moment for a second. Imagine if we had a high school team.
I
We would
know.
have mopped this friggin' state up, dude. You know what I mean? Only if Coach would have put us in, right?
Yeah. Well, we're wrong generation.
We would have
Dave.
smashed this state,
Yeah,
dude.
we would have. I do want to get back, though, guys. I want to get back to what do you feel like is one important thing that makes you a good kayak angler, a good kayak fisherman? Because I think there's a lot of people that want to know that. They want to get better. Give me. I want to hear one from each of you. Todd, too. I want you to chime in. Give me one thing that you feel like makes you a better kayak fisherman or makes you a good kayak angler.
You go first because you've won more than I have.
So for me, I feel like it's really just a kayak forces me to slow down and fish the areas that I'm fishing a whole lot more thoroughly than I would in a bass boat.
Yeah.
I had never realized how quickly fish will reset on a point, current break, anything. Fish will reset a whole lot faster than you would think. Giving those fish an hour like you typically would, usually not the case. I've seen it, fish will reset in 10 to 15 minutes and be like they've never seen a bait again. And I think just being able to slow down, pick those areas apart, that's the main key for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I would say we love fishing for the fact that it's fishing. Like I said, we've always fished for anything that has fins on it. So I think a lot of the reason you're maybe not seeing as many of the younger guys in it right now is because there's no $80,000 really fast boat attached to this part of bass fishing. But I know that there are enough people out there like Ewing and I that love fishing for what it is.
Yeah.
And I think those are the people you got to watch out for, because for some reason there's kind of a disconnect when it comes to the competing part when you don't have, because it's kayak fishing, right? Because we were talking about on another show I went on about how can we make kayak fishing cooler. I'm like, I spent $265 for an entry fee, didn't put gas in a boat, and made $10,000. I don't know how you can make it cooler than that.
That's
but
pretty rad.
I guess maybe there's something.
Yeah. And on top of that, I saw a video today where a whale ate two kayakers. I think it was off the coast of California.
Nice.
Anybody see that?
Thanks for that, Brian. That was
But they survived.
Right. Spit it back out.
Yeah, spit
Right.
it back out. They weren't baleen
The week
like the
before, a
whale
whale
fought.
actually came up and landed on a boat. So kayak doesn't need to be beat up in that topic. Boats
You're right, but no, it
pretty well
actually
found
ate
also.
them. Yeah, Todd, I'll send you the video. It actually
ate them.
It was pretty raw.
That sounds crazy.
That's a good story to tell at a bar,
And it was two girls, and they got spit out. Wow. Like Jonah.
Huh.
From the whale.
How about that?
Or the great fish.
Yeah.
I would answer that question. Who wants to make kayak fishing awesome? Look at regular every asshole now has a bass boat flying across the water everywhere.
Right.
You can't be anywhere without
Right.
somebody zooming past you.
Right.
Let's keep the kayak thing quiet.
Yeah.
Go win your $10,000 with your $265. Don't tell nobody. Stop talking about it. You're wrecking it for everybody.
It's growing, though. I mean, those Hobie events, I stress out when I have to do the sign-ups because Mike's like, it opens at 9 a.m. And I'm on there because within
can't get in.
minutes.
You can't get in.
Within minutes. I mean,
Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought
Some
I
of
would
the
have some
yeah.
leeway because I've been working with Hobie for like 8 years now.
Yeah, diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
And talk to the guys over there. They're like, nah. You got to register the same way.
You're a civilian.
Everybody has to
jerk off.
register. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll do it. I don't want any favors. You know what I mean?
Mike doesn't do it. Just
well, I don't do it.
so
I give it to
Right.
the ladies
Right.
to do. Right. I don't do it. But here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought the money thing up, dude. It's amazing to me, Dave. Listen to me on this.
I'm listening.
There are professional kayak anglers out there right now. Like that's their job, right? There are guys that do this.
Yeah.
All 3 series, and they're making they're clearing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year in winnings. That's incredible. We have a daughter that just graduated LSU Todd, you know what it cost to send her to LSU? You don't want to know.
Don't have a clue. Not a
You don't
clue.
want to know. It was horrible. It's horrible. I'm still hurting. She
Yes,
got a
ma'am.
job right out of LSU.
Don't say what she makes.
Well,
though.
I'm just telling you. But you could potentially make
She might kill
more
you.
money fishing the kayak series. The series. That's incredible to me. I'm stoked that this is getting to a point where you could do this professionally.
Why don't we just stop trying to grow the sport and just keep it quiet for
I know
God's
you wanna
sake?
keep
There's
it. You're
enough
sick of
people. There's enough people. We got enough. We don't have to grow no more.
But you know what?
Let's
But
zip it up.
Can I tell you something that
I'm
does
with you, Dave.
frustrate me? There are so many snobs, though, that think that if you have a bass boat,
That's true.
you must be a better angler
that's
than
true.
someone in a kayak.
That's true.
That does.
Because you are.
That's not true.
It's
That's
not true.
All right.
That is not true.
And they also have tiny penises.
No,
fair.
come on.
What,
They
the
do.
bass boat guys or the kayak guys?
The guys that think that the boat makes
Oh,
them
yeah.
something.
There
Well,
is
that's
such
probably
a.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you guys experienced any of that? Like that negativity?
Guys with
of-
tiny penises.
Yeah, that negativity of big boats when you're in kayak fishing. I actually have a little bit. I have a little bit.
In a kayak?
In a kayak.
By a bass boat guy?
Not by bass boat
Oh,
guys.
damn it.
But by big boat guys that, you know.
I need a bass boat guy to just
Not,
on a
not
kayak.
bass boat guy, but a big boat guy.
Is that rain?
That. Beck just heard rain.
Ah,
and
my
ran.
windows are down, dude.
I've only had one run-in with a boat that was tough, but I haven't fished near as many tournaments as Ewing has. I'm sure he'll have more than what I have to add. But basically, the reason that I feel like it was so bad, we were at Toledo Bend this year in February, and I was fishing a secondary point in a creek. So, you know, it's not a huge spot, and I had to say to the guy, "Hey, man, can you just turn the other way because I'm casting right there, and you're gonna run over my line."
Yeah.
So I feel like I shouldn't have had to say that because I was there. He was not there when I started there. He, drove
Right.
in. But for the most part, I don't know. I think people just need to communicate on the water. So if I'm going on the bank and I see a bass boat, I'm going to say something to him, not in a, confrontational way. Just, hey man,
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm going to keep going down this way if you want to go around this way or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the problem is a lot of kayak guys already hate bass boat guys, and bass boat guys have this hate for kayak guys. So like
Right.
two guys pass each other in a creek, don't say anything. And then later in the day, oh, this dude cut me off.
I think actually it's just nobody loves to see another angler on the water. I mean, let's just be honest. You never pull up to a full boat ramp and you're happy about it. You never go down a bank like, oh, great, there's 13 people on this bank. You know what I mean? Or grass bank. Let's just be real, dude. We don't want to see grow sport. It's a lie.
Yeah.
That was me on the Susky. I was like, I launched probably one of the busier ramps on the river. There's probably 40 guys that morning, maybe 30, but good bunch of kayakers. And I get to my spot, and I had it to myself all day. It was just sweet.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun.
Was there
the
fish
next
on
day
it?
there were guys diving on it with masks on though that
Yeah.
were like doing something, and there was a whole John boat full of dudes wearing blue jeans that had masks and like fins, and they
6
were
of them. I think they had tubes tied to the John boat so they could stay underwater for eternity.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
We're talking about oysters here? What are we talking about? Freshwater pearls? What do we got?
we don't know.
No, we got to find
maybe
out.
it might have been on the Susquehanna. It might have been
the Susky.
Civil War memorabilia. Gatling guns?
Yeah.
They were wearing blue jeans.
I don't know. I think these guys, they dropped on a couple of my spots, and well, they dropped in one spot, but there was some good water right there. I was having pretty good success on, and there was some catfish in the area, and I think they were just going down there playing with the catfish.
Were they gigging cats? They have.
I
spear
never
guns,
saw
or-
fish, but they had stayed down forever. I mean, there's like 6 guys standing up. I'm like, how in the world are they not turning that boat over? Big guys. And it's like a 16-foot John boat. Next thing I know, I look around, there's only one of them standing up, and the rest of them are gone. Underwater, gone.
Wow.
I was like, well, there goes that spot.
Wait. Like,
This could be a sitcom.
mask and snorkel?
Masking, I don't know about the snorkel, but they would stay under forever. So I think they had like plastic tubing tied to they were breathing through that instead of a snorkel. The snorkel was 20 feet of tubing going to the boat. I don't know what they were
That's
doing.
some
but
Davy Jones shit.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. In blue jeans.
Huh.
And blue jeans.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Blue jeans get a lot of good work, It's good work right there. Let me remind everybody watching, if you got a question for any of the miners that we have on right now, please hit us up. Paul, what do we got coming through? We got any good questions coming through, comments? What do we got?
Well, Chuck Fish says, I have a kayak and a bass boat. Should I hate myself?
That's a great comment. He wins something.
You win something. Yeah, please.
He should absolutely self-loathe in all situations. He's correct.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's a great comment.
Chuck, send your information to somebody.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys this, because I'm going to say it. This is bad because I'm going to get crucified.
Then don't do it.
Again?
No, I'm going to do it because I don't care. At this
Again?
stage of my career and life, I don't care anymore because I just want to be honest.
Hold on.
I'm just going to say it. I don't care. I'm going to ask you guys the same question. This is Ike Live. You got to be honest.
You're not allowed to have an opinion.
This is my self-destruct podcast. Tell me what I want to hear.
Right. I'll answer first, then you guys tell me your honest opinion. I like kayak fishing better than big boat fishing. There it is. There it is. I said it.
What?
Agreed.
Dude.
Agreed.
I like it a lot more. I'm telling you. Becky knows for a fact.
Becky?
She knows. I really enjoy it. I at this stage of my life, I like it better.
He gets very nice legs after a tournament.
And I get a good pump on. Guys, big boat, kayak, one over the other, equally the same. Give me your honest answer.
You go first.
Kayak fishing. I mean, there's so many more places I can take my kayak.
Yeah.
It's way cheaper. I don't have to pay for gas. You notice a lot more when you're out on the water.
It's more intimate. It's more intimate.
You're not thinking. You don't have the big motor running. You don't have all that stuff to distract you, aside from electronics. But you connect with nature more, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's just, I've really enjoyed it, and I used to not enjoy it as much as I do now. I guess it's probably just I'm in a Hobie now, and I'm comfortable out there. I'm not paddling around. It's a great fun.
Yeah. Fuck paddling.
Now, if I had hit that Mega Millions a week ago, which might be a different opinion, but I have to agree with both these guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Kayaks I liked it better than when I had the big boat.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You didn't hit the Mega Millions?
I didn't hit it, of course not.
Dude, there is something special about it.
It's intimate.
Yeah, it's intimate. But the access, all that. But dude, hooking a fish. Let's just say a 3-pound smallmouth on the Susquehanna, right? In a jet boat versus a kayak, it's totally, dude. It's so much better in a kayak. It's so much more in your face.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's
boat's
like,
getting spun.
Yeah, it's more like combat.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cooler. I don't think that's an outrageous thing for you to say.
No, I agree. I've fished one kayak derb ever and spent half the day figuring it out and the other half
losing fish on the
pissing
board?
excellence. No. No, I didn't lose it, but that bump board thing, that's another topic.
Bump board.
But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I felt better the day after the tournament because I was in a kayak. The seats are super comfortable. You get the physical workout, the leg pump, and I wasn't just standing all day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, I felt better as opposed to feeling worse.
Yeah. So I will take that
on a bass boat.
4 for 4. Let's go for the 5th shot. What do we got? Next guy.
I guess I'm kind of on the fence. What I would say is that I miss being able to cover water because my style has always been kind of, because I fished pretty extensively in the college series. My style has always been to run around like a chicken with my head cut off. That's how I always fished the best in bass tournaments, just going very, very fast for the most part. But I wish I could be as stealthy as I am in a kayak in my bass boat because I'm sure that you know this, Mike, it's insane when you go and fish somewhere that you would fish from a boat, how much more relaxed the fish are. I don't know if you've got forward sonar on your kayak, but you can be so much closer to the fish. They don't know you're there.
Yeah.
There's a lot more you can get away with. And, fish know what a bass boat is nowadays. They all know. They're all so educated. And so if I can be where the fish are at in my kayak, love it because, it's more effective if you're where they are, but a bass boat can travel, and hit a bunch of different places where they are.
All right. So how can we get kayak guys to understand how to use a boat ramp? Or get the hell out of the way.
Well, that's not
since I am, I've done the boat stuff plenty and done the kayak stuff plenty. I feel like I see it from both sides. So I'm always really careful when I have my kayak to make sure I'm not everybody's way. And it's not that hard. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that one, but I personally know that I am not the guy getting in the way.
Some of these kayak guys act like they're christening a tugboat. You know what I mean? Like get that little piece of shit in the water. It don't even have pedals. Get it in the water. It weighs 25 pounds. Get out of the way. There's real people trying to fish.
It just went the other way. Dude, worse than that. Thursday night at DOD, there was a pop-up fiesta on the boat ramp.
There was.
There was a family. They had tents and cars
They're
parked
like
right on the boat ramp.
On the boat
13
ramp.
kids, aunts,
Oh,
uncles,
my God. One car.
grandnanas, tequila.
Pop-up fiesta.
Yeah.
They had chicken wings.
30
the whole
people,
nine.
2 cars.
Right on the ramp.
All right, who else?
One with a for sale sign written in soap on the rear window.
I'm going to chime in here and twist it up a little saltwater. I go saltwater fishing every fall with a group of guys. I wasn't part of the original group, but I fell into it probably, 10, 15 years ago. And we would always drag our boats down anywhere from a 19-foot flats boat to a 23, 25-foot V-hull to go explore in the canyon a little bit. Somewhere along the line, we decided, hey, the weather's going to be really bad. Let's take some kayaks and explore some protected waters on a blow day. And then it progressed into everybody there's probably about every manufacturer of kayaks. Toward the upper end of those kayak manufacturers, what they offer for us is represented on the trip. And we've ventured into slick calm days, leaving the big boats and taking the kayaks. One of the guys that actually originally started the group up has opened up a fly shop down there, and he offers a kayak with the torpedoes on it. And you go out sound fishing. You can go on sunset cruises. Really neat thing he does for everybody.
Sounds nice.
And in Manio.
Very cool.
Sunset cruise sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
Was it OBX on the Fly? I think is the name of his shop there in Manio. If you're ever in that area, look him up.
That's cool.
Very cool.
And he's a good guy.
Let me ask you this, guys. Do you think kayaks are the answer to college fishing? I've heard that topic come up a lot, right? And
really,
from a standpoint
I like
of
that.
College age anglers having the ability to have a $60,000 or $80,000 boat to compete in, versus the easier accessibility of kayaks. Do you think that's the future of kayak or college bass fishing?
It should be.
Kayaks?
It should be.
I don't think it's necessarily the future, but it'll definitely help get more kids on the water competing. You're always going to have kids running around in $80,000 bass boats, and you're also going to have kids that can't even afford to take a $10,000 bass boat to a tournament. So to have both of the options will be great. I've personally fished, I guess it was the second Hobie BOS college kayak tournament. We have a kayak team, and we've got 3 Hobie Outbacks supplied by the school. I used one of those at the Susky, but just being able to, schools will be able to provide a vessel for their anglers.
Yeah.
That's the deal right there.
That's the
Who
deal.
set that up?
I never thought of that, but that is the deal. Because
it's the deal.
Yeah, because the whole thing about like kids and even in the high school thing where they're running around in like daddy's bass boat.
Yeah.
Dude, we grew up fishing in a John boat on the ponds.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where it should be.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
But no,
I like the accessibility to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's just real.
Yeah.
It's more real.
Yeah.
Beck?
He keeps throwing it to you tonight. You can't let you mind your business.
Come on, Dave.
I'm minding my
Let me do my
business.
thing.
Beck, we want to talk about the James Madison
Yes.
UVA.
Wait.
Midlothian.
Midlothian. We want to
the
get
Midlothian mudslide.
Brian really wants us all to bond over our Virginia roots is what he wants.
Yes.
That's what he wants.
And then see where it goes.
or brawl.
where did you guys go to college?
Oh,
or
here
go
we
to
go.
college?
Ding, ding, ding.
No, you go ahead.
I'm currently at Carson Newman University in Jefferson City, Tennessee. So I'm right by Cherokee and Douglas Lakes.
Okay.
I went to WVU in Morgantown.
See, we don't have to brawl. Brian was like, "Oh, someone's got to go into UVA," because he knows that I'm anti-UVA as a James Madison graduate who's trying to.
Brian's always trying to start trouble over here. You know.
I'm the producer. This is what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. It was either the two big controversies tonight was either that or getting Jeff Sprague on to talk about being DQ'd. So that's better than.
He still hasn't responded.
Still hasn't responded, right?
Yeah.
So that's better.
There's still time.
So, what does everybody want to do when you grow up? Nolan and Ewing, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm about 29 and I still don't know. So, what?
Passed.
So at first, I really wanted to do, what Mike has done. And I mean, I'm going to probably hurt a lot of starry-eyed kids' feelings by saying this. I got to the point where, I realized that, at least for me right now, and the way that the world is set up right now, it's so incredibly expensive to try to fish the opens and make it to the elites. And there are people that have the resources to make that happen, and I don't knock them for that. I would do the same thing if that was the case for me. But for now, I've always wanted to make a living fishing. And for right now, I think that the best avenue for me to pursue is probably going to be somewhere along the lines of YouTube and maybe doing something else. So right now I work for Pure Fishing. I do some social media stuff for them. And what I really want to do is keep that going and then get YouTube going. I'm really working on YouTube, trying to treat it like a job because, as Mike knows, that's what matters these days.
Yeah.
Because I can catch fish with the best of them. Like, I've done it. And I can say that.
You've proven it.
But that wasn't really getting me anywhere, is what I, started to find out. Because I can remember when I first started fishing in college, what a lot of guys would preach is, oh, catch the fish, the sponsors will come. Well, let me tell you, I caught the fish. I caught the fish in a lot of places, and the sponsors didn't come. So
you're 30 years too late with your intelligence and your skills. You're 30 years too late. I think the way you're going is probably the best route for right now,
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I think there are a lot of misconceptions about, especially high school, college age kids, about all I have to do is fish. It's only the fishing. If I catch the fish, everything will fall into place. And it's so not true. It's not true. The fishing is only 50% of it, and the other 50% is all that other stuff. And you have to be just as good at that stuff. So I'm glad you said that. That's a good reality check for you.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many people have qualified through the opens, and they call the sponsors up, and they're like, "I made it to the elites. You're gonna give me a boat, right?" And they're like, "No, no, it's not how
the
that
elites
works."
don't even get a boat a lot of times.
Yeah,
Ike, you were crushing me on the James with the blowing your lower unit, and I'm like, guys, that lower unit's got to last for 10 years. You can't be messing with that thing.
Yeah.
You'd be up in the shallows of the creek trying to catch some fish and win the tournament.
Yeah.
You weren't representing my family very well. It was crushing me.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just I do things to my boat. I do things to that boat on the James that you should never do to a bass boat.
Okay.
Ever.
Yeah. Rented mule.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah. And I tell the boys, when you get the sponsors behind you to help you put that bolt in the lower unit at the end of the day, we'll see if we can get up those creeks. But until then, let's take care of it.
Yeah.
Sponsors is key, and it's hard to get them in there.
Yeah.
Don't be like Mike.
Yeah, don't be like Mike.
Until you can be like Mike, then be like Mike. Destroy that shit and get another
it
next
was
day.
okay, but what was it? I think it was 3 that you went through. I don't know. Maybe it was props, but I was there running around trying to. Hey, I know Eric. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I know, but I think it was a few. It was more than 2. I know that.
Yeah, it was a few. It was a few. Lower units, prop shafts, props. Those guys at Yamaha love me and hate me. So at the service crew,
They absolutely hate you.
They hate me. They hate me because of the work side of it.
They want to sit there, laugh, joke, smoke, and joke, and then you show up and they got to punch the clock.
They love me too. Listen, at Oneida this year, I caught like 50 walleye and gave them all the walleye. I mean, come on, man. $2 a pound.
Yeah, it's a fillet of fish.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
Here's some U-peel
Thanks
shrimp.
for Damn it. Damn you.
U-peel walleye.
Oh, man. I was a second away.
Mike is actually on the Yamaha Hall of Fame for having broken his motor in a way that no one else has ever broken it.
Oh, my God, Becky, let's hear it.
Meteorite?
No, don't you? What did you crack? And literally, they sent the tech guys from Japan here.
Yeah.
From where? Japan?
From Japan.
Yeah, like they actually. Yeah,
they
They pulled up in a car like Midnight Run. Like
they literally they never saw it before. So they I'm talking about like a day later.
Yeah.
Like think about what that cost, right? Like
a day later they showed
up.
Oh yeah. Oh, like they beamed them in.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what you cracked. You
flipped
cracked
into the place
some
like.
main. I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember either. But they showed up, and they didn't speak a lick of English either. They could. I didn't hear that. What did you say?
I said they front flipped like. Like.
I don't think they did that.
No, they definitely did.
They didn't do that.
They
But
did.
They did a lot of.
They did that.
Well, they didn't speak a lick of English, but they did a lot of bowing. They did a lot of, they were bowing at me. They were bowing at the motor.
There was a front flip.
They were bowing at everybody.
They were not bowing at Mike because
somebody cracked him with a bow staff.
They bowed at the motor. They bowed at me. I remember a couple height. There was a lot of height.
So what did you break?
Head shaking. I can't remember. I cracked something.
No, it was some main support piece that
never breaks.
that has never broken.
Sure. It's an elevator shaft, and he broke it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Sorry,
Straight
guys.
through the metal. It was this huge piece of metal, and you cracked it. I
Yeah.
remember seeing it. We're like, that can't be good.
Yeah, that's all right.
Some poor schlep bought that boat off us.
Oh, God.
Never buy one of my boats.
Oh my God!
I did take I took, but this
Cut.
was a Johnson 150 Fast Strike back in the day when I had my Ranger 374V, the one I won, my first bass boat. I was fishing Bugs Island, Kerr Reservoir in the fall, and it was low that year, and I was running up I can't remember if it was the Roanoke. I think it was the Roanoke side.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever the right side of the river is there, and I was in an Everstart. Dude, I was like in third place
Like
on the last day.
Clarksville.
Yeah, and I was running back out of there on the third day with like 15 pounds of fish, and I hit something so hard. It spun the boat out, and as soon as I hit, it spun out. I smelt lower unit fluid.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I was like shook up. My partner was shook up, and I remember like trimming the motor up, and when I trimmed it up, there was no foot on it whatsoever. It had sheared the bolts completely off, and the lower unit was gone. There was nothing there. I didn't make it back. It was really depressing because I wanted to do well in that tournament, and I lost the whole last day.
Oh my God!
I mean, that's your buddy Gavin. That story.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was.
They talk about they watched the skag go skipping across the water like it was a kid on a bank throwing a rock.
Dang.
Really? Who saw this?
But Kerr
It was some of my friends from my high school fishing team. They, I guess they were on the Potomac River and hit a rock pile. And the kid that was fishing with him said that when they hit it, he looked over and he saw the skeg skipping across the water like a rock.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Can't do that in a kayak.
It's great
Can't do
story.
that in a kayak.
Nah, you can
on a Susky you can.
You can bend the fins a little bit,
you
but
can
that's
get some stuff.
you definitely bend them fins, but you ain't skipping nothing.
Torpedo, maybe. No.
Hey, back to the river, Mike. You ever thrown a floating bug at smallmouth, like sight fishing them on purpose?
I have thrown a lot of baits to imitate mayflies and cicada, but not that. Like honestly, I'm looking at that, and that is super, super badass.
Pretty neat.
That is so awesome. So my cure has always been when they get on that bug bite, the mayflies or the cicadas, is always a clear or a black popper. Straight black popper, black tail, straight clear popper, black tail has always been a way that I've caught a lot of fish when they're eating bugs. But, dude, that thing looks That thing looks badass.
It's a neat bait.
Like I'm literally I'm right. I wrote it down already. I'm going to order something. That's badass.
Well, you're not going to be able to get any because they're gone everywhere right now. But what you can do, fishing online. My buddies at Fishing Online, they have some. They didn't come in Friday. They thought they were going to get them in Friday, but I think on Monday they're going to get them in. But honestly, right now, like Tackle Warehouse sold out, Tackle Direct sold out. I think I saw some on Amazon. If you want to pay like $17 for them, you can find them on there right now. But somebody definitely has taken advantage of this situation that's now selling them for that. Yeah, they're hard to find because of the little thing we did.
Yeah, have you thrown it during the mayfly hatch too? Does it work just as good there?
I don't know. This is something that we kind of stumbled upon. We knew the water was going to be really low and clear. And so my buddy guides on the New River in Virginia, and he was saying, I talked to him a long ways before the tournament. I was like, hey, man, tell me some summertime smallmouth stuff. You know, I've done it a lot, but I just wanted to pick his brain. He was like, man, my fly rod clients catch the biggest ones in the summer when the water's really low. Like by far, those guys, you know, even if they're not catching as many, that the average size for them, those are the only guys that are really catching the great big ones when the water is low.
Yeah.
So I was just going to take a fly rod because I know how to fly fish. And then I saw this thing online. I was like, well, let me order some of those. And then me and Dad took our kayaks to a river near home a week before the tournament to test it out. And it worked really well. And I was like, oh, crap, I need to get more. And so I did. And then we crushed them on it.
You better tell whoever runs that company, you better get production up because pretty soon you're going to see like a Berkeley cicada in production.
Well, see, I'm trying to work with somebody to get that happening, but my buddy
a prototype
said it was too niche for him. So maybe we can change his mind. But for now, I don't know. I want to make a better bug, but we'll see.
He better find somebody because you're going to see Mike fishing a prototype real soon, dude.
Love that word, prototype. Prototype. Paul, we got anything else that has come through? Anything for the guys? Anything? Anything? Any answer on Becky? What that means in street language yet? Did we get the right answer for that?
Paul, do you know the answer to that?
No, I don't. The only answer involving that was Becky ... young white woman.
Watching you fix his mic, Brian, I don't even know how to react to that. I don't even know what to say, dude.
Fixing
Paul's
mic. He's a control freak.
It's almost like I got
a job to do, guy.
But it's
what are you talking about?
It's almost like in Swamp Thing where that one evil professor had that experiment that went wrong, and he was always messing with him, dude. Leave him alone. Let the mic just sit where.
All right.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Boy.
Back to you, Paul.
Back to you, Paul. All right. Well, hey, guys, here's what I want to know. So. And you guys answered a little bit already, but
we still got another guest to get to too.
I know, guys. What's next? What's next? You've really taken the kayak world by storm.
Win more.
Todd, you gonna have more kids?
Yeah, Todd, more kids. What's next, guys? What's next?
Yeah.
Nolan Ewing.
Todd, eliminate more chances for the rest of us to win. Go ahead, Todd. Have more kids.
Yeah.
I can tell you exactly what's next, and that's me in first and Nolan in second.
Damn, Nolan, first, you last.
Brotherly love.
I know.
Dude, look at Ewan with all the plaques behind him.
I know.
It looks like he's in the old Ike Live studio.
I know, it does look like the old Ike.
Although I do want to know, as brothers, like I'm sure you want to support each other, but there has to be a little jabbing from time to time.
Heck yeah.
You know, there's got to be a little competition here. How does this play out?
This year we've fished 4 events together now, and he hasn't got me yet, and I know he really probably wants to get me more than any of those checks mean to him, and it'll happen eventually, but we're just trying to look at it from the standpoint of we can work together in these tournaments and put ourselves miles ahead of everybody else if we can just, not worry about the competing with each other factor, because the way I look at it, there's 200 guys in the field. Me and him sharing information is just going to help us. We really need to be worried about everybody else, not each other. At this last one, he's already won a couple, so it was okay for me to win, and him to get second. Now, from now on, I think it'll be a little different. But
did he slingshot you in for that win?
That's what I got for that. But go ahead, Ewing, if he was going to say anything.
Dad was rooting against him on that one anyway. So.
From now on, I'll just have to make a little bit better of decisions and make sure that I can call past him instead of just into second.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
It was on my bait.
Yeah, hats off to Todd. My man, you did a great job with your boys.
Yeah.
They're awesome kids.
It is cool. It's very
Yeah.
inspirational, guys. To see two young guys doing well, and you have a head on your shoulder, and it's good. It's good. We need that in the sport. So, despite what Dave says, we want to grow the sport. We want to get more kids.
No,
fishing.
enough of these people already. There's enough rods sticking out of everyone's.
You guys are doing a good job. You guys are good role models. So it's awesome to see it. And congrats on first and second.
But they do it the right way too, man.
Yeah.
That's
important.
They're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
100%.
Super important.
Yeah.
Less H crates and more no freight. Stay off the lake.
Less H crates. Wow. It took an advertising firm like a year to come up with that.
I went into the back pond at DOD the other night after I passed you in Vegas. There was like 3 freaking kayaks back there splashing around.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Like they're on rapids. Like rowing like they're fighting for their life.
They were all throwing full-size whopper ploppers.
They were?
Yeah.
Oh, you saw it?
Well, we were there.
Okay.
I fished that deep thing, and then I went in there because
And then you
it didn't
came out.
work, and then I came back.
We actually need to focus more on production. We grew the sport enough.
Yeah.
We've grown past what we can produce.
Yeah.
Let's stop telling people about fishing. Let's start telling the people to make
About
the shit,
golf.
make more.
Yeah.
Make more stuff.
Okay.
Because we can't even get the thing this kid won with.
Well, that's true.
Let's make more stuff. People,
Go
raise your
golfing.
kids, be responsible, get off the water. It's my day off too. Go do something else. All right. Let's get the manufacturers to make more shit so we don't have to wait for it so
Well,
long.
I agree with
All
that.
right.
I would like that to get back to normal.
How about that?
You know?
Yeah.
For a change.
I would. Guys, thanks for coming on the show. It was awesome to have you on. Dave is very pleasant as usual. I wish you guys a lot of luck in the next event. You guys, I guess the next Hobie event is Dardanelle.
Yeah.
Correct?
It's Wolf and Fox, but there's like 40 people signed up for that one or something. So it's next one that I'm kind of looking at would be Dardanelle. I see you're on there, and I'm coming in hot to beat you.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
Get it, yo.
I love it. Man, if I finish in the top 20, I feel like I've won. You know what I mean? In the Hobie events. Dude, it's stout field.
You got to get Vegas out there to work with you.
Dude, Vegas is he can do it. He's 11. I'm definitely going to get him there.
How old do you have to be?
I don't know.
15?
Is there an age, guys? Is there an age? Is it 15? 15, 16? Is that
I
what
don't
it
know.
is? I don't know.
Well, you won at 19 or something, right?
I don't think there's an age limit on when you can start fishing the Hobies. I think they used to have like a junior series because I know one of my buddies, Jackson Hoare, he used to fish the junior side, but I think it's all just in one now.
Wow. I think Vegas is a couple years, 2, 3, 4 years away. I think when he gets into his teens, 14,
He just doesn't
15.
have that stamina yet to be able to do a kayak that many days in a row.
Todd, I think you should write like a sports dad book that translates across all sports, dude, because you've raised a couple of savages, man.
Yeah, that'd be good. Make a little side coin on it. I know a good publisher if you want to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Send him over.
Yeah. Well, guys, good luck in the next events, and thank you for coming on the show. It was great talking to you.
Thank you, guys.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Have fun with your next guests. I'm buddies with them. They're good dudes.
Hell yeah.
We will. Appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
guys.
Yes.
Hopefully I get to see you on Dardanelle.
We'll see you there for sure.
All right. See you.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Yes.
Miners, everybody.
Miners.
I wonder if like the rest of the business world is seeing the same level that we're seeing in the fishing world of how further advanced people are at their age versus when the Titans were that age.
Right. I bet you they are.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So the Titans of industry, right? When they were 19, 20, 21 like these kids, right? The level of knowledge these 19, 20, 21 had versus what we had, it's not even close.
No, they got a lot more knowledge.
They have so much more knowledge than we do. They have so much more positional and situational awareness than we did.
They definitely do.
So how about in like the business world? Does it translate in the same way? For the killers. These kids are killers. I'm not talking about the average jerk-off millennial sitting on his ass. I'm talking about like the go-getters, like these kids. Like, are they seeing that in the business world? Like, man, we were not like this when we were 20. You know?
no.
I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, what were you into when we were 20? Let's not talk about
I was watching Beavis and Butthead.
Yes.
South
Park.
Getting a half chub on Baywatch.
Half chub.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was good Pam Anderson back in the day.
Yeah, but let's be
Real good
honest.
Pam
When
Anderson.
we were younger and you were 20, you weren't told, like these kids are now, that the world is your playground. You can do whatever you want. You can have a job making money, whatever makes you happy.
No.
Live your happiness. We were told, like, get a job, work
Yeah.
your way up.
Told you
and
not to be stupid, you moron.
You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
there weren't.
Yep.
There wasn't this whole mystical, like, you can be anything. You can post yourself on social media
what's the
and
new
make
Beyonce
6
song?
figures. Like,
Yeah. Like you come home with a depressed
your job.
look, and your mom's like, "What happened?" You're like, "I got in trouble at work." She's like, "What you do, stupid?"
Yeah.
It wasn't like what you know what I mean. Not like now, like what they do to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. What did you do, you dumbass?
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. I guess that's different. I don't know. They're definitely more advanced and smarter than we were, and they're kinder.
They're definitely kinder.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says.
No, they're kinder.
We were way assholes.
They're definitely way better people.
Oh, no. Please.
Rhombus chorus.
I see my son with his friends.
They don't even have the ability to
I'm
be
like,
as-
wow, you didn't like. I'm saying like, you didn't say anything about that. Like, how you let him roll with that, dude? Like,
Yeah, have been shamed.
Yeah,
Been instantly
like I mean,
shamed.
like even our weakest link would have said something like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Like, you know, like McGraw would have called you out and been like, "Yeah, I don't know, but if you should do that." You know,
Even McGraw.
like up here at my altitude, I don't think you should.
From up here, it looks like.
Yeah.
You know what hasn't changed? This show is just as bad as the day that we started.
true.
We have not progressed at
We
all.
have not.
How can we though?
I think we've
Cheers.
regressed,
And
actually. We've gone down.
And the poor
It's
people
like-
who
it's like
come
alive.
on that we're interviewing basically just have to listen
They
to
have to
us
listen to
talk.
us.
They do.
like,
The poor
stupid
miners
talk.
suffered through that. I know that was sad.
They're
to
great
see.
people.
Yeah,
They are.
were awesome. They were awesome. Let me say this though before we take commercial.
Great. Becky,
And I.
outstanding look back on it. And you're right.
Yeah.
We've actually gone down a little bit.
Yeah.
We were like,
Did we even have to self-deprecate that way? I don't even know.
Let me say this real quick.
I was feeling pretty good.
Let me say this super quick. And I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up when they were on there,
Paul?
because I felt a little strange bringing it up. But I do want to say this real quick.
uh-oh.
What I said about the going to a Hobie event, and if I finish in the top 20, I feel good. I feel accomplished.
Sure.
Because, what they said, they work together, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's totally legal, and I'm happy for them. They work together. But dude, that happens in the kayak world nonstop, right?
Yeah.
There's 4 guys,
There's
6
teams.
guys, 10 guys that work
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, there's fire teams.
It's very, very hard to compete with that. In the grand scheme of things, as the professional league, grows in kayak fishing, I don't think that's right. It's an individual sport. If this was a team, it happens in the elites too.
It's happening.
I know.
Yeah.
I
And we're
know.
going to talk about that later.
I know. But
Yeah, I'm ready for that too. I got
and
some opinion.
And I'm not downing any accomplishments that these guys or anyone that worked together has made. But it's tough because, I'm going in, I get 2 days of practice, and I'm not working with 30 guys.
Right.
So it's tough.
Yeah.
I think as the sport advances, I think they need to get rid of that.
See, I don't know because
You still do it on the elites, though. Like, we haven't set a precedent.
I think the elites need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
This is an individual sport. If it's a team sport,
But how do you get
cool.
rid of it? You can't police it. You can't police it.
I don't know.
Have we no integrity?
I don't know.
Well, we have no integrity. That's obvious. People,
I'm just saying,
individuals
if it's a
have no
team
integrity.
tournament,
No, I'm with
Vegas
you.
and I
I'm
fished
not,
a team tournament.
Yeah.
Him and his partner a week ago fished a team tournament. Perfect. Go
Yeah.
for it. If
Yeah.
it's an individual competition,
Yeah.
how are you going to be working with 2, 3, 4, 6 dudes?
Yeah.
I will tell you, it has annoyed me because I have listened to people on stage who have made that top 50 cut at the elites this year, and they've said, well, thanks to my good friend so-and-so, I wasn't on any fish, but they saw me and gave me this spot, and I made the cut. And I'm like,
well,
Mr. 51, or, well, okay, so
Yeah,
47,
you're right.
you know what I mean? Just worked their butt off all by themselves, found the fish that they found, and because your friend gave you those fish on that day, that dude just got knocked out of the cut, and he had to listen to you say that.
But that's why I might be in the minority when I read about Sprague's disqualification. Like, Like, what are we talking about? Like, if you get information 2 days after you're not supposed to, like all them other guys were okay, but you, because it was a few days later, all of a sudden now you're a bad guy? That's fucking stupid. It's either information or no friggin' information at all, period. And we've had this conversation before.
There are rules, right? And the rules say once the schedule's released, no information.
I get it.
But there are rules.
But then other anglers can give you information in the tournament.
In your league, but you can't go reaching out to people in the other league.
I guess, dude. I find it silly.
What about the Justice
League? I find it silly. I find it all silly.
I would
Justice
ask
League.
Batman.
Here's the Wonder Twins where the stumps are.
Dave,
no Batman. Where the fish at?
It might be silly, but that dude might, knows the rules and still did it, and knowingly broke them rules. Busted them rules, lied about knowing when the cutoff is. I mean, how are you going to compete against somebody like that?
How are you going to?
You're going to follow the rules, but they're not. Now you're at a disadvantage because you're following the rules.
So I can't.
That's where the problem is.
I can't argue that, and I can't.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a really tough to enforce rule, right? And they have to decide because it's either like. Have them and enforce them, and when you have and this is the thing that we're going to get into later, but when the rules are there and the league does not enforce it or does not announce that somebody broke that rule, and it's been going on, right? We all in this room know, people listening may not know, but it's been going on, and they just dust it under the rug.
Here's what happens.
They dust it under the rug. Dude pays a little bit of a fine and keeps moving on. What's to stop them from continuing to break the fucking rules?
We should just shame everyone.
So
we should
but when you put that shit out
that's
there,
what we do in the Northeast,
and you affect
their
career and their ability to get their sponsors and to make their living, they're going to be more inclined to follow those rules.
And you guys correct me if I am out of line with this. Interrupt me immediately. These leagues, when their faces are using guides before the cutoff, and they're getting all this information.
But they can't because they don't know the schedule for next year. As soon as that schedule's released, it's no information.
How come none of the faces ever get penalized for anything?
This was the first step.
I'm just saying.
This was the first time
why is it
that
always,
a league has announced a penalty for a major top-end
But it's
angler.
special teamers that always seem to always get the bite in the ass.
All
Never,
All right,
it never
Mike's
seems to
bored.
be
Let's
the
go.
face.
Move on.
I'm not bored. I do want to say this. I think this is where Major League Fishing went wrong from the get-go, is when they had the cups, it was the purest level of competition out there.
You didn't know where you were going.
You didn't know where you were going. You'd show up at a place with there was no way to get information.
I agree with that.
Ray Scott started that shit with the
I
Classic.
love that format. Now it's totally gone. They don't even have cups anymore.
Yeah.
And they got the dumb team
Crest.
tournaments or whatever they are.
Red
Well,
Crest.
besides that.
Yeah. But,
Last guy picked for dodgeball.
yeah. Nice guy pick for dodgeball. Yeah. All right, let's take a break because I am excited to get our next guest on. Brian.
Yes,
What do you think?
they're queued up and they're ready.
They're queued up and ready. Okay. Listen,
They're doing keg standers right now.
Are they doing keg standers?
Absolutely.
That's pretty
Standers? Keg stands.
What?
He said standers.
What's a stander?
Like you're doing a stand and then you're like pluralizing because you did more than one. He standard it.
Why are you defending him?
All right.
Because I understood what he said.
All right, listen to me. Hang in there with us. We got two great guests coming up. We got Luminetti.
Illuminati
the Illuminati coming on.
Illuminati. The
Illuminati.
Illuminati. Deep State.
We got Dave is going to be interviewing the
Oh, I'm going to take out the Deep State next episode. Stay tuned.
God.
Hang in there with us. We come back. More like live in the Illuminati.
Where's Alex Jones?
Right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water. The Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high. And let these kids have the experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
No.
It'd be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us.
Yeah.
We're proud of it.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to MysteryTackleBox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way? What if we celebrated taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? What if? Founders All Day IPA. Low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Chase your what if.
All right, Brian, Torquedo today. We've got the Ike Live Tiny Boat out. I want to tell you, this is not just for electric-only reservoirs. It's for other things as well. Today is a great example. Where are we? What are we going to take this thing through today?
The Upper Susquehanna.
Upper Susquehanna River.
That's right.
Current, rock,
Lots of
nasty
it.
bottom,
Yep.
and we're going to use Torquedo.
Everybody else running jet drives. We've got the rock guard on the Torquedo. We're going to some small spots. We're
Yep.
gonna get in there. We're going to make it happen.
There you go.
Let's go.
Shallow water, speed, strength, power. Come on, let's go.
Consistency.
Place. They're everywhere. They're raping your children in satanic rituals.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new Ike Live show. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I know we are. Dude, this is, I titled this show tonight, Bri, The Young Guns, because we have some very talented.
I told you.
It's good, right? Yeah. Muscovy is good. We have some very talented young anglers on tonight. We just had the Minor Clan. Now we're getting ready to have Lou Manetti.
Illuminati.
Right, Illuminati. And Mike Figaro.
Mike Fugazi.
Mike Fugazi on in just a second. Very excited to have these guys on. The story's great.
The story's phenomenal.
The story's phenomenal. Can't wait to hear about it. Let me remind you, if you're watching over on Facebook.
It's like counterterrorism, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
We'll
Like
talk
and
about
share.
that.
Like and share the feed if you're on Facebook. We're going to enter you a chance to win this amazing bag. Also want to say, Dave, we switched. We went from the all-day vacay to another one of
To some liquid gold, dude. I
To
love
another
this.
one of what I call this a summer favorite for me, dude. A summer favorite.
This is their premiere.
Masagavi.
Oh, my God.
Is amazing. And listen, it's good in a can, but Masagavi coming out of a bottle.
It's different.
Dude, it's so good.
I love it more than my life.
Yeah,
My
it's
God,
so good.
man.
And here's the thing, Brian, I don't know if you knew this, but
Yes.
I will be doing a Founders private tour.
What?
In about 3 days. I
What are you
think on
talking about?
Tuesday. I'm going to Founders Brewery.
Are you really?
Yes.
You bastard.
On my way west. So I'm very excited to
That's
visit,
awesome.
visit
Like
with them.
the way I would describe this, right? Like, so I was craft beer long before you guys even knew what that shit was. Okay? So I can't have 6 at Mazagabi's, right? I just
Yes,
can't.
you can.
Nah,
Yeah, you could have 4.
Pretty freaking good.
But like, if you're coming home at night, like you're done work or you had a long ass day, like 2 of these, oh my God, it is delectable.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
worth whatever money it costs you to get it, man. It's so freaking good, dude.
Yeah. Dude,
So well done.
I put them over ice,
Yeah.
salt the rim.
Salt the rim
Oh,
in a glass.
God.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's almost beyond beer. It's like
It's beyond beer.
It's amazing, man. I don't know how they.
And they were the only 2 in the fridge?
Only 2 in the fridge. Me and Dave got the list too. Oh, there's a Masagavi seltzer if you want it.
Nah.
No, you don't like the seltzer as much. I
There's
like
a stout for you to enjoy in this 100-degree heat.
Yeah.
There's the stout. There's the stout. Stout's good.
Yeah, because milk was a bad idea.
Yeah, milk was a terrible idea.
All right.
Milk,
All right,
sour.
let's
milk.
get the Illuminati on. I want to talk to him. Get him on there.
Yes,
Mike.
I would love to get the Illuminati on. We got them queued up. And let me remind you guys too, if you're watching, you have questions for the Illuminati when we get them on. Please shoot them through. Paul, you still doing stuff? We still got some comments coming through. Anything about me owning the lake yet? I'm ready to brawl with somebody.
Surprisingly, not yet.
No, okay.
Not yet.
Paul's on his phone.
Damn it. Okay.
Hey, he's checking Facebook. That's fine.
He's jailing. No, I'm saying he's on his game. That's all. I'm not trying to rip him.
All right. Well, let's get him on.
Yeah,
Brian,
you know how many Facebook fights I had to get into for you? You
And
don't
I
pay me
did
enough,
too,
dude.
yeah.
I know.
You don't appreciate me
you're
enough.
No, you give him
You
no
don't
credit.
even appreciate me
know.
enough.
I know.
Do you even know?
I know.
Like, do you
And
think?
I got soldiers out here going
Do you
to
think
battle for
It's,
you?
King
it's
Arthur-
like Brian, me, and Rizzo are always standing up for
I
you.
know. No, I know. And I appreciate that, guys. But here's the thing.
King Arthur knew Percival was out there putting in work, and he let him know it. You don't even let him know. He's your Percival.
I know.
Go ahead.
do.
Take
No,
this
I
time to
appreciate
make
it.
a speech.
I appreciate it. No, let me say this. I appreciate it. I do appreciate that.
Okay.
But here's the other 2 facts about this.
Okay.
The one is everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Right. And
It's-
there's a lot of stupid people.
There are
in the world.
stupid people, but I value people's opinions. And if you disagree with something that I've done or something I say, that's fine. Dude,
That's
it's fucking
fine.
America. You fucking
I
say anything
agree
you
with
wanna say.
that.
I don't care, right?
And that's where I'm at. People
Yeah.
can disagree with you.
Yes.
But then they take it over a line.
That's true.
And that's when I got to get involved.
That's
It's like,
true.
okay, yes, you're right. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best. Maybe, it wasn't articulated as well as it could have been. Now you've gone too fucking far.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you're just being an asshole. Now you're just being a jerk off on Facebook.
Yeah.
With a tiny
Yeah. Well, here,
little.
let me say these last 2 things about this topic. The next part to it is I love that I have that I've always said this. The detractors are important.
Yeah.
They really are important.
Yeah. Good for you for
They're really
appreciating
important
that.
for me and my brand.
I hate them, but
Yeah,
good for
I
you.
know. But
I loathe the sheep.
dude, here's the thing, and I'm trying to think of a good way to say this, but if everybody likes you and everybody, there's nothing, you're just cardboard.
You're Tom Brady.
You're not being checked.
You're Tom Brady.
Yeah, you're just cardboard. I don't want to
Yeah.
be fucking cardboard.
Yeah.
I got you.
And then the last part of it is, I'm at the stage of my career where I can say what I feel. And I'm not afraid to say what I feel because I don't give a fuck at this stage of my career.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I bet you, like
No,
if you peel
yeah,
away
what
the-
you're going to say right now, every single professional angler on
Feels
all 3
exact
tours
same
feels
way.
exact the same way, but
No
they
matter
won't
what-
step
they
up
won't
and say
say
it, and they won't back you up when you say it on
But
social
these
media.
people wouldn't
That's
say that
okay.
if they had a beer with you around us. They wouldn't say what they say, Mike. They
Well,
don't know.
regardless
you.
of that,
fine.
They don't know them.
It's
You know what I
fine.
mean? They know
Yeah,
what they
it's
see
fine.
and what's
Yeah.
edited and put in front of them. They don't know them like we
It's
do.
fine.
I mean,
All right.
Get the Illuminati.
Let's get on to some positive stuff. Yeah, we want the
tired of their shit. Get them on.
Yeah, join us now. I'm excited, Brian. This has been a while in the making.
Indeed.
We talked about having these guys on for a while.
Champs.
And it finally happened. Yes, we got some champions on tonight, and we've got Lou and Mike joining us right now on Ike Live Show. What's up, guys? Yes. Yes. What's happening?
Hey, real quick, I want to just announce a toast to all them college guys.
My guy.
Running $80,000 boats.
Heck yeah.
Toast
there
to them.
it is.
I cheers
Salute.
Salute. All right, guys.
He just cheers all the guys with the $80,000 boats.
That's all right.
That's all right.
That was so badass.
Listen, here's the coolest thing.
Oh, that's right, because he's driving around in a goddamn Volkswagen. Yeah.
Dude, the boat is older than he is.
Yeah.
It was born before him.
I missed that
You're
joke.
Beautiful, Lou.
Well, here's the coolest thing, guys. When I saw Brian, when you guys won, Brian, like, I don't know, what was it, like a week or two later, immediately started sending me images and the story
Of the boat.
And I, like, when I focused in on the boat and saw, like the ripped seats and just the, it was so hardcore. It honestly took me back to when we were competing at that level, whether it was an old beat-up bass boat or a John boat that was falling apart, or Dave cutting the trolling motor shaft in 20 pieces and it's hanging on by a thread. It reminded me of that, and I love it. I love it, man. It's competition. You don't have to have the fucking Lamborghini to be the best in the world, and you guys were the best.
When they first won, the article came my way, and I was waiting to see it was your old boat because I'm looking at pictures as I'm scrolling down. I know I was on the toilet, and I'm like reading the article, and I'm waiting to find out it was your old boat. I'm like, what the fuck do you
My
send
old
this to me
boat's in
for?
worse condition than that boat. Believe me.
Yeah.
It wasn't even afloat.
No, it's good article on you guys, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I appreciate it. And when I tell you, I mean, Michael vouched for this. We had to fix something on the boat the night before every single tournament. I mean, fuel pumps, trolling, you name it. Everything went wrong the night before. Always the last day of practice.
Who was in charge of the outboard? Who had the better expertise for the outboard?
Nobody.
Oh, shit.
Nobody.
You guys went Dr. YouTube?
Yeah, Google. Google was the expert on the outboard.
Oh, shit.
All right, guys, real quick, for our viewers and listeners that don't know the story, let's back up a little bit. Let's talk about it. So bring us back to the tournament. Tell us about what the event was. There was a lot on the line. This was a big moment for you guys. And then tell us about the boat. Give us the year, the model. Was it a boat that you guys owned? Was it a borrow boat? Give us the background on it.
Yeah, so it's a 1996 Ranger. I got it when I was 17, I want to say. It's got a 115 horsepower. Like Brian said, it's older than me. I got to college I just graduated in May, so 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And, I did all right throughout, my college career. And this year, Michael and I decided to team up. And I think it's the story of us coming together is a pretty good one. So.
Yeah, I mean, so I met Lewis my sophomore year, so 2 years ago, and I knew he fished the college series, and I'd never really fished before. Kind of fished some local ponds around the area, and I was always like, Lewis, we should fish together. And I know it meant a big deal to Lewis, and Lewis like, I always fish solo. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I don't want to get in his way of his dreams. And then one night we were night fishing out on Lake Norman, and he was like, hey, I kind of had like something come in my brain. And I was like, what happened? He was like, I kind of want to fish the college series with you. And I was like,
I was taking a shit in a porta potty while I was
Some of the best ideas come in the toilet. I can tell you that.
Did we just become best friends, right? Like that's what just happened right there.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of which, Mike, when you first invited me to be a correspondent, I was taking a break. I was in the stall at work on the bathroom, swiping through Instagram when I got your message.
Yes.
I'm like, that's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Dude, a dump brings out the best in people.
Yep.
It really does.
It changes your life.
It really does.
Why is there such singular focus when that's happening?
I know. I don't know.
I mean, these two dudes formed a marriage made in heaven on that moment.
It's amazing.
It's cleansing.
It's amazing. Poop.
It is.
No, so I mean, getting back, not to focus on the X's and O's, but we went into the season thinking we had a serious shot, just based upon the schedule and kind of our vibe going into it. We did all right at Harris Chain. We finished one spot I think it was like 3 ounces.
Yeah, 3
out of
ounces.
qualifying at the first tournament. Then it was at Norman, which Mike, I know you have close ties to, and which is it's 20 minutes from us here at UNC Charlotte.
Nice.
Did well there, came in 13th. Somehow, by God's grace, we came in 17th at Norfolk. Had no idea what was going on going into it. And Saginaw is where the real story lies, because I had this weird inkling feeling that Tawas Bay, it's 50 miles from the takeoff at Saginaw Bay, which is Lake Huron, and it's big
water.
Yeah, it's like Huron.
Big water.
Yeah.
Yo, Dave, hold on. They had no electronics, so he's got a 7-inch at.
I read the article. I love it.
console, and up front, you had a what the hell did you have?
Like a flasher.
You had a speak and spell or something.
Yeah, we basically had an etch-a-sketch.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. You son of a bitch. I was gonna say that.
Oh man.
but only for the first event.
Yeah.
After the first event, the fuse
died.
blew on it, and we just said, "Screw it, we don't need that."
That's
thing."
amazing.
Right off
Fished
the
the
front.
other 3 events with nothing on the front deck.
John Cox style. I
Just
love
skills,
it. Hell
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Feeling
Dude,
it.
you guys are the best.
Take it away.
Dude, but I do want to, before you guys continue the story, dude, that is big water. That is you're essentially fishing an ocean.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
It is an ocean.
It's like a Great Lake.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
it's giant.
Yeah.
It's big water. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, no. So the best part is that 96 Ranger, and Mike, I know you run Basscast, but those old Rangers were built like nothing, not like the new Rangers. All my buddies, all these new Camus, Phoenix, you name the boat, it fell apart on day one.
Yeah.
We came back in one piece.
Wow. Heck yeah.
I mean, we
Shout
we
out to
went
Forrest
50
and
miles.
Nina Wood. Shout out to Forrest and Nina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went 50 miles. We did okay. I think we were in like 20th place after day one, and day two, I mean, we looked at each other. It's a 30-minute idle out to the bay at Saginaw, and just said we were behind. We went into the event 1 point back, or 1 point ahead in Team of the Year standings, and we went out there just saying, let's just go have fun with it.
Yeah.
And we went out there on a flat and just tore 3.5, 4 pound smallmouth up. Just
wow.
Air jig, Ned rig, just tore them up, and came back and said, look, we did what we could do, and it, the chips fell where they did, and here we are.
That's awesome. I love to hear those stories, how it comes together, and it's always like magic that happens. And it seems like that last day, that was a magic day for you.
How far into the relationship of being like partners on a boat did this occur?
Probably like a year and a half,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah. All right.
Because I don't think I'd ever bass fished in my life. I might have bass fished 2 times, and Lewis was like, hey, like, I fished I went to Charlotte as well, or I still go to Charlotte, and he was like, hey, like, our club does this little tournament thing on like local lakes around here. He was like, you should join me one time. And I'd never fished off a bass boat in my life, so I fished with him, and we ended up winning. And Lewis was like, yeah, we should do this again. So we fished, I think, like, what was it, 7 or 8 tournaments?
Yeah, and won most of them.
Yeah. Well, the first year we won every single tournament we fished together through the school, and that's kind of how we became partners. And then he asked me to fish the college series.
So Lou, you seem like the Yoda in this whole thing. What did you see? What did you see in him to recruit him? What did you see?
Master
I
Yoda.
mean,
What'd you see in
look at
Luke?
the guy. Come
Master
on. Look at
Yoda.
him. No, on the boat together, we gel so well. For somebody who's only been bass fishing 3 years, this kid knows how to catch some freaking fish. It's genuinely impressive.
Nice.
And we're more than anything, we're just brothers and friends, and you can't really ask for more than that. It's I've always had a tough time like I was saying earlier, I fished alone for 3 years, and I had a tough time kind of keeping my head on straight and keeping a positive outlook, and just being in the right mental space. And I think Michael really helped me out with that and contributed a lot of fish to our years total, and it was just a perfect situation.
So now, in
awesome.
your time together, I'm asking you this as a 22-year-old, like maybe in my 20s. All right, I'm asking you as a 50-year-old. This question's for like the younger guys. Well, you guys pull any broads? Like, how do you pull broads like doing this thing in college? Have you been able to do it? Have you figured it out? Because it's kind of like, like Indiana Jones had to figure out how to like, shine the beam. Like no one can figure out how to pull broads as a bass angler. Did you guys figure it out?
So I texted Brian and I were talking probably about a week ago about getting on here and figuring it all out. And the unfortunate circumstances that we go to UNC Charlotte, if you go to Bryan or Bethel or McKendree or Adrian or any like the cool fishing college schools, fishing's like football, dude. Like it's big deal.
Really?
UNC Charlotte, the chicks don't care. So the answer is no.
All right. Identical to go on the Triton.
Sounds it sounds like our defeated.
It was actually a negative for us. Not only did they not care, it was bad. It was a negative.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
I was trying to give some of the 18-year-olds watching some hope.
Yeah.
No, there is none.
Yeah, if you come to Charlotte,
yo, Dave, I'm 26 and still single, so there's no hope.
No, you got to get on the other side of the guardrail, Paul, and you fucking find somebody.
That's how it is.
You can't be on the weed side of it. You got to be on the street side.
Street side with your finger out, hitchhiking.
That's how you die, Mike. That's how you get killed.
I know.
You can't be on the tick side, dude.
So I want to know, guys. I want to know this, and you got to give me a serious, real answer. When you guys won this title, and it's a big deal, right? It's a really big deal. Were some of the other teams visibly frustrated or pissed off?
Yes.
I want to know because, like, in my mind, like I'm closing my eyes and I'm saying, here's like rich daddy kids.
Yep.
With
trust fund babies,
$100,000 bass boat with 6 units up front, 6 units in the back. They're towing with a 2022 Suburban.
Yep.
With fucking giant 30s on it.
And these dudes got Goodwill cleats.
Right. Like, I mean, was there visible disdain for you guys? Was there?
Yep.
Say yes.
Please say
Be
yes.
honest. It's Ike Live. You can't lie on this show.
Honestly,
we all grew up poor. We wouldn't hear you say yes.
For the most part, no. I mean, I'm sure there was some.
Right, but it was sneaky and behind your back.
Yeah, behind the scenes, there probably definitely was some.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, it was honestly. So let me take you back a little bit. So prior to that tournament, yes. Not so much like angst or anything like that, but I mean, I remember at Harris Chain, for example.
In the lock.
Yeah, we were locking out of Griffin, heading back to Eustis, going back to weigh-in. And there were probably 3 boats in there. And I'm sure you guys know when you're like heading up to the lock and they're about to start closing it. And I'm like waving down the dude, like trying to get him to stop just so we could get back to weigh-in. And I wave him down. He opens it back up, and we had in there. There's 3 boats in there already, and we kind of like slowly idle in. I grab the rope, and they're all bullshitting, having a good time, cutting it up about their day. And we had probably like 15 or 16 pounds in the live well, like not a bad bag. And the lock closes, the whole 9, and I'm like, hey, like how's it going, guys? You guys have a good day? Shit, you not. This is what we got. That's
it. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow.
But going back to Saginaw, honestly, like after day 1, we got a lot of support, and it was really cool. There were a lot of guys that came up to us in the mornings and stuff, and so we're really rooting for you guys.
Yeah. Right on.
So, the tides kind of turned once we started catching the shit out of them.
That's
Hell yeah.
Well, we love it. We love it. We're very much the common man here, and we love the stories like this because it feels good.
But like Lou, where you're from, that might be one of the prettiest towns that no one knows about in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I work for UPS. I've been in there a lot. I've been in them I've been there a whole lot of times.
A whole lot.
Making deliveries. Dude, Brio, where he lives is right on the ocean. It is absolutely, it's like, it's beautiful. I mean, it is one of the coolest towns.
Really?
So take us through that town and what your experience was there. Did you grow up there your whole life?
Yeah. So I grew up between Brielle and Wall and Manasquan, kind of that whole area.
Okay.
And you're absolutely right.
I know.
I know my parents found that place, I want to say in like 96, 97.
Yeah.
And after living all over New Jersey,
half
said
dead at that
this
point.
is it. This is the spot. And
Yeah.
you're right. It's a gorgeous little town.
Oh, I know, dude. I bet. So what high school did you go to being right there?
So I actually went to Christian Brothers Academy.
Oh, okay. All right. See, you're elite. You're deep state. I didn't even know that. All right.
Deep state.
Yeah.
You say elite until you look at the boat, you know?
That's because your parents didn't subscribe to it, dude. That's why. That's why you drove in that boat. Don't you be playing with me.
No, so, I grew up like hardcore. All I want to do is saltwater fish.
Yeah.
And when I was probably 11 or 12, one of my buddies in grade school was like, dude, you got to try bass fish. And I was like, man, that sounds like the lamest shit in the world. Like, screw that. I want to catch a bluefish or a striper or a tuna. Like, let's do that. And
How
he said,
good?
"No,
How good are those little lakes coming into Brielle?
Terrible.
All right. 'Cause, I mean, I only ever drove past them. I never stopped there to fish them. You know what I mean?
No, they're like the rest of Jersey.
Okay. No, you guys have no idea what his neighborhood looks like. Like, I can't even describe it.
Describe it.
It's different than anything you would see. Like, it's beautiful. It's. I'm telling you, it's one of the prettiest neighborhoods you would ever see in New Jersey.
Huh.
Like, I can't. I don't know how to describe it.
Does it look like Runnymede?
Haddonfield?
No,
Oh,
it's a
wow.
combination of everything you would know. It's a combination of like beautiful Cape Cods, Victorians. It's everything, and everything is pretty. No one's house blows. Wow. Like, everything is pretty there, right, Lou?
And it is. That is exactly what it's like. But it's at the same time, it's still like a humble kind of town. Like,
Everyone works
very-
that's there. Everyone works that's there. Nobody.
It sounds fucking perfect.
No, you have to see this town. It's amazing, dude. There's nothing like it, man.
Don't get me wrong. There's some
call my
people that
mom.
have summer homes there that are gajillionaires.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure.
Fuck them.
The majority of the town is like just down to earth,
Yeah.
good people. Not beachy people, kind of like old salty people, if you know what I mean. It's a cool town.
No, for sure, man.
But I got into bass fishing, and it's a drug. I mean, we all know it. We're all bitten by it.
So you grew up fishing squan?
Yeah, I the first like real lake I grew up fishing was Manasquan Reservoir. And to this day, it's one of my favorite places to fish it. Honestly, living here, I miss it like hell.
Yeah.
Lou, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to give you this will be a reality check for the age of us in this room. So
I think I know where this is going.
You know where this is going. So our club, Top Rod Bassmasters, actually fished Manasquan the year it opened. It opened. I can't remember the year. I'm going to take a guess.
They weren't born.
And say it was 93. It was early 90s.
Yeah.
Early to mid 90s.
92, 93.
Yeah. And we fished it the year it opened. And I distinctively remember this because, dude, we all launched and we're in crawdads, we're in John boats. The trees were so thick.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you could not hardly get through the free.
Couldn't
the
get to the
trees
bank.
were thick. The trees were alive. It was like,
Dude, you remember the mist that was on the water? I thought I was in a Berkeley Live commercial. Like, what was that scent they had? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Berkeley Strike.
Berkeley Strike. That's what I thought I was in.
The fishing was so good that I can't remember the name of the island, but the island over by the Osprey. There's an island out there. That was so thick. All I did the whole day was circle that island. And every pass, I just caught him and caught him and caught him.
Throwing a crankbait.
Throwing a crankbait into the trees. Just caught him and caught him and every pass. Just.
I remember with my old Eagle
You
Lowrance.
can't do that now.
I remember my old Eagle Lowrance. I couldn't believe I was catching fish in 15 feet of water.
Yeah, you were like 15 feet. You're like, oh my God, it's the abyss.
Like, how are they living down there?
You thought they were going to blow up.
Like, how are they alive? How are they alive 15 feet below
They're
me?
going to get the bends and
Yeah,
blow up.
they only live at 3 feet.
Yeah.
We were so naive.
I remember like
cavemen.
Fishing the Bassmaster juniors. I fished with all the hooked guys, Randy Barron Jr., all them guys. They kind of molded me into the fisherman I am. And I remember researching Manasquan and seeing the Delaware Valley video of you catching them on a crankbait when the trees. It wasn't the lake it was when I was fishing it.
Cranking, dude. Cranking was the deal back when those trees were live, and that was an awesome video.
Norman DD 22,
dude. In that one, I used an old Bagley's, like one of those original like wooden, square bill Bagleys, and I never forget. It was the deal where they were only on the trees that were horizontal. The horizontals, like that was the deal. Like you would go through the trees and look for a horizontal, throw it, you'd catch one. Well, I threw it a horizontal and I got a bite, and I'm like, here's one. And I'm reeling them. It's a little one. And I look, and it's a yellow perch. And it's a good yellow perch. It's like a 11, 12-inch yellow perch. And I'm like, it's just a perch. And, dude, I swear to God, like, as I said that, I took another, reeling them in, and a 7-pounder came up and ate it. And I caught the perch and the 7-pounder on the same cast.
So
on this show. Craziest
that's
thing in the
pretty
world,
rad.
dude.
Are you kidding me, dude?
It actually
of course. I'm not even
Manasquan.
shocked. I'm not even shocked that Mike would.
Right, exactly.
I started tuning out as soon as it got amazing because I knew it was him. So Lou, you know what
100%.
you know what I remember most about that place that was so painful?
Yes.
Like being forced to wear the vests.
The life vest taking the prop off the outboard.
And I was a sheep, and I wore the vest, and I had a vest, dude. I had a Field and Stream vest. I looked like the door gunner. I looked like the door gunner on Platoon. It was like, get some, bah, 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 bah. And it was smoking. I had this giant fucking vest that was like 6 inches thick, dude. And I remember having to fish a tournament in it. Man, I had like sunburn in that. It was horrible.
That was pre-inflate. That was pre those little.
Yeah,
like
no,
the self-inflates.
yeah. You really didn't have much choice. Like my vest could have, I could have dove on a grenade for the team.
I think Brian had a ski vest on.
You never learned the secret. The secret is the second you hear the guy at the ramp start up the outboard, you go as far into the trees as you can, and he can't do shit about it.
So Lou, it was a different generation. Our generation, like we kind of respected. Unfortunately, we respected authority a little bit more than we should have.
I didn't.
I did. I mean, so you
Dave
didn't wear.
did. Dave definitely did.
So you didn't wear your armor. I know you had an orange one. You had the big orange one with the strap across it.
I did.
It was like the Brian Bosworth collar.
It went under your crotch.
Yeah.
I definitely tried not to wear it.
You could have survived an Alaskan boat sink in that thing, dude. That thing.
Yeah.
Bering Sea.
Why do they get to make up their own rules?
They're gross.
Yeah.
They're gross.
It's awful.
It is awful.
I would just like to say, F whoever came up with that rule.
I'll toast to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
F them and
so-
F everybody else that thinks that they need to make up their own rules.
And for the younger generation that thinks it just all became fruitcakes with rules, they were fruitcakes when we were your age
That's
too.
true. They
all
were
right.
fruitcakes back then too. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Manasquan's a good place.
It is.
So, where's your partner from? Where are you from, Fugazi?
Fugaz.
I mean, I would correct y'all. It is Fugaro.
All right.
But I'll give y'all some slack because day one of the first college tournament I fished, they're announcing us and we're going out and they go Lou Minetti and Michael Fuegaro.
Yeah.
I must have changed ethnicities overnight.
Fuguero, that's amazing.
Awesome.
Where are you from, dude?
I'm from Holly Springs, North Carolina, which is around the Raleigh area.
Okay.
So like I'm close to Jordan Lake, Sheridan Harris, like those lakes over there.
Hell yeah. Good lakes. Well, they used to be good. Before MLF came there and ruined them.
How's your Spanish rice?
He always gives me shit because when I first started bass fishing, it was like probably maybe the 10th time I went out. I went to Sheridan Harris, and before I went to like Dick's Sporting Goods and bought the little GT search bait swim bait, and it was around the spawn, but I didn't know anything about it, and so I'm walked through the woods fishing from the bank, and I cast out. And I'm like reeling it, and I was like, oh, I'm stuck. And I just like keep reeling, and I still think I'm stuck. And I look up, and I just see my line swimming off. And I was like, oh, I might not be stuck. So I keep reeling. I fight that thing for probably like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and it gets up to the bank. And I was like, this is the biggest bass I've ever seen. That's my PB to the day. Like It had to be anywhere from 8 to 9 pounds. I didn't have a scale on me, but
Hell yeah.
That ain't no Jersey fish.
You hear that, Paul? Paul, that came from the bank. Bank fishing, Paul.
In North Carolina.
In North Carolina.
Not New Jersey.
It's possible. It's not probable.
From the asparagus side of the guardrail, Paul.
Yes.
Wasn't the Jersey record caught at Menantico from the bank?
Come on, Manico.
Nah,
Banana
I don't know if
Hey,
he was
what?
on the bank. I didn't hear that.
I don't know.
It might have been.
It might have been snagged off a bed. What I heard.
Is that right?
I heard that.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of conspiracies about that.
Man, that was
Somebody's
so long
gotta
ago.
break
How's
that.
anybody know? Come on.
Dude, it was 83. I think
Yeah.
he caught it. Robert
Hamilton.
Robert Isley.
Isley.
Is he still alive?
Isley.
I don't know. I actually had my first 5-pounder, first 5-pound bass, and my first pickerel over 20 inches. Both of them mounted by him up in
By that guy?
Yeah, Robert.
Why don't we get him on Ike
Really?
Live? Why has he
Yeah.
never been on Ike Live?
I don't know.
Damn.
Why
is
is
he
the
still
New
in
Jersey?
business?
Is he still alive?
I don't know because last time I talked to him was when I got my 5-pounder mounted in 2011.
What was the name of his taxidermy?
Isley's Taxidermy.
Oh, Brian?
Brian
This
the
is something
Carpenter.
we got to get on.
Can we get him on? In
'Cause there's
studio?
a lot of rumors floating around about that.
Yeah.
Will.
I've actually been in his place and he showed me his mount. It's mounted on his wall. It's freaking huge.
I think you need a
Yeah.
polygraph for this.
Maybe the polygraph.
Stormtrooper.
What? Ever you on the date of 1983?
Is it true at Manatico?
I'll fucking question
Oh,
him. I'll
it's,
put him right here on the spot.
question
Put him
his
right there.
ass.
I'll put my thumbs on his wrist.
Thumbs on his wrist?
Yeah, fucking feels
You're
pulse
actually
rate.
going to feel his pulse?
I would do that if Isley sat right there. I'll put it to bed. I think he caught the fish. But I'm not going to be prejudicial and during the interview. I'll fucking go after him.
Well,
Presidential?
Here's the other thing I heard. I heard that he's also had several state record deer and other game, and some of which have been disqualified, like later found out to be.
Yeah, but he might be a coxman.
Hold
I
on,
don't know.
Lou.
Maybe he's a coxman.
Hold on, Lou.
Yeah.
How do you plead to these charges?
Did you do it?
I think you need to get him on Ike Live and hook him up.
He's out in Leesburg. I remember the name of the
He
town.
ain't far from here, dude.
Yeah, Leesburg.
Leesburg's Bridgeton. Get him up here.
String you up.
Leesburg, Florida?
No, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Paul, step up. You gave him money to kill a fish.
I haven't talked to him like over 10 years, man. Give me
Why
a
you
break.
kill a fish 10 years ago? You shouldn't have been doing that at all.
That's all right.
I was
It's all
less
right.
Take a
experienced.
picture. Take a picture. But
I
it's
didn't have a
disposable.
smartphone back then.
Disposable
Cut me some
camera. That's what we
slack.
all
Ah,
Nobody cares. One fish.
That fish could have bred how many more studs?
Yeah.
And Paul killed him on the side of the guardrail.
Oh, that's how it is. That's
Tick
how
side of
it
the guardrail.
is.
He killed him on the tick side.
You beat his head on the guardrail. Knocked the
Every
brains out
time
of him.
this
It doesn't
joker's
matter.
always roasted.
I've been easy on you, Paul. I've been real
Every
easy.
You have no idea, buddy. You have no idea.
I ought to be used to it by now.
No.
That friendship comes with a
I
price.
had to deal with this shit for 35 years.
I
You
feel
can
ba-
take it for a
I
couple
feel
of
bad.
Hold on.
for
Let
you,
Paul
Mike.
know, though. Am I being easy?
Yeah.
Way easy.
man.
I love it.
All right, Lou.
You're being indoctrined.
All right, Lou, I want you to talk a little bit about biz baits. Talk about biz baits because we know Brian. That's got to be a cool gig. 'Cause
But rap while you do it.
yeah, no, but here's
Rap.
the thing.
What? Why you talking about biz baits?
So this is my age. I've known those guys, Brian and his mom. I've known them since he was like literally like a little kid. So it's been honestly, and it's really cool. Like I remember him coming to Bass Universities when he was a boy. He was a boy.
It's a boy.
And he was a small boy. And he would come to the Bass Universities like wanting to learn about fishing, but I remember him saying, "Man, I want to, this is my dream. I want to make baits." And dude, it's so cool.
It's
to
cool
see.
that he started his own thing and didn't rip off Fish the Moment. You know what I mean?
Right, he didn't
And
rip anybody off.
Right, didn't rip anything off.
He's doing it himself.
Yeah.
He's working hard.
I know what we're talking
I love the story.
It's great.
I love the story. It's got to be cool working
Dude,
there.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess it was beginning of my senior year, or probably halfway through my junior year. I'm friends with all the guys in the shop, and I've always kind of wanted to work in the industry if I wasn't pursuing my dream in the industry. And I hopped on the train, and there's not a better group of guys as far as the company goes in the industry, period, bar none.
Yeah.
Brian, a couple of years ago, Brian teamed up with John Martin at True South Custom Lures, and Brian and John have just created this amazing company that's just, we're really trying to build something here.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And we're all really proud of our product. We're all really proud of how we work around here. And bottom line is, for someone like me who's really trying to make my way in this industry, as dumb as that is, knowing what Nolan said, and he's absolutely right. I'm just an idiot. But
nah. You're far more articulate than you give yourself credit for.
Besides the point, to be a part of something like this, I mean, I really think this company's going places. Like I said, Brian and John have an amazing work ethic, and just really moving this company places. And I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud to call those guys my bosses and just honestly friends, guys I look up to. It's I mean, Michael, you can account. They've been all the guys at the shop, Brian, John, Jarris, Tyler, Ian, Bryson. There's a whole number of guys. They've been our biggest support system all year.
awesome.
Besides our families, the guys at Biz have been by far our biggest supporters, and it's honestly meant a lot to us. There's a reason why we're here wearing these hats, these shirts.
Yeah, hell yeah. No,
These guys mean a lot to us.
that's awesome.
Young people listening, I want you to rewind that maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Make yourself valuable to the person you work for.
Oh yeah.
That is exactly what he just said.
Yeah.
Make yourself a valuable asset to who you're performing for.
Yeah.
That
I
is a
appreciate
great
that.
great message you sent, Lou. And
Yeah.
it was
I appreciate it,
well
dude.
said, man.
Yeah. Here's the thing too. I love, you know, the little guys in the industry. You know, I work for a lot of companies that are the big guys.
Yeah.
A lot of my companies I work
They
with.
crush everybody.
But I love the little guys because I think the
Hell
little
yeah.
guys are the innovators and
Sure.
they're the hustlers, and they're the ones that can really change things, and I love that, man.
But that's where the fundamentals of becoming big start.
Yeah, for
right
sure.
there.
For sure.
We work hard here, and Mike, I think I'm speaking for Brian here when I say you're always welcome to come and work for the little guys.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Well, if the internet chatter keep coming up, I'm probably going to be fired anyway in the next couple months. So I might need.
You got an opening here, I promise you.
That's awesome. Hell yeah!
How about for Power Bay Paul? You got a spot for him?
Absolutely.
Well, we might have to change your name though to Biz,
Yeah. Well, that
Biz
is
Bates
the
Paul.
first line on the contract. That's changing the name. I'll speak for Brian on that behalf.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as
No,
nice though,
BBP,
Paul.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's cool, but it doesn't roll off the tongue as nice.
It's
you know?
going to be hard. It's going to be hard to catch as many fish and to beat all the fish I've caught in the Berkeley Power Worm. That's going to be impossible by now.
It's just a challenge, dude.
That's because you haven't tried this bait.
You got to
Hey, so-
recognize and overcome.
It's so cool, Paul. I set you up for a job interview and you talk your way out of it in 9 seconds.
We can
Story of my life.
We can easily change the name to Bizbait Bob.
Bizbait
Bob.
Wow, Bizbait Bob.
Listen,
BZB.
we're already going to be in the office to change your name legally. We might as well go to Bob from Paul. What's the difference?
Bizbait Bob sounds like a retard Sasquatch.
BZB, I sound like a new rapper.
I forget the rest.
Hell yeah. Beatboxing.
Jeff Sprague still hasn't got back to me.
No, he ain't going to. Let me ask you guys. Let me ask you a panel here. What are your opinions on the whole information Jeff Sprague disqualification?
Oh.
You have an opinion on that?
I'm gonna let you take it first.
You don't have to come in hard. I'm not looking for hard. I'm just looking for a realistic observation of the whole rule in terms of information versus what he got pinched for.
So first of all, I will preface this by I do not pay attention to anything that goes on in the fishing world.
All right.
When I have a question, I ask Lewis, and he goes, yeah, this is going on.
Lou, what do you got?
I'm trying to bow out of this one. No, I'm not trying to bow out of this because if I ever do fish professionally, it's going to be for bass. But anyways, information, whatever. The cream's going to rise to the top. That's kind of where I lie on things. I mean, I'm sure at the top level it's a different story. I can only speak for what I've done and fished for in my time. And we've both received a lot of information this year and a lot of information just going back a number of years. I've always kind of been a guy that just takes it and throws it out the window. I understand that it can help. Trust me, I do. But at the end of the day, I mean, Kevin Van Dam didn't need a whole lot of information to get where he is. Mike didn't need a whole lot of information to get where he is. I think talent's going to rise to the top at the end of the day.
Okay.
I'd agree with that. I mean, along those lines, I think.
And I'm open for disagreement.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
You're not wrong, Lou.
And
You're not all right either.
Brian DeCarpenter, I won't mention any names tonight specifically because I don't want to get into that. But I think there are a lot of amazing anglers that are pushing the envelope with rules.
Yeah.
That are good enough to not need it.
Yeah.
But they're still doing it.
Yeah.
But is that bad to be in the gray, Mike? Is it bad to be in the gray?
I mean, great anglers have been in the gray in the sport of professional bass fishing from the beginning.
From jump.
Roland.
Bobby Murray.
Right.
Roland Martin. Hank Parker. Name them all.
Right.
Keep naming them.
See, I find myself
Davey
drawn to the
Height.
gray guys, man.
Name them all.
They all been there.
Me. Right?
Salt. You got to have salt.
Yeah, but you're in the gray for what?
I'm in the gray for pushing rules.
Everything.
Pushing the envelope, but not for
information, but
for
pushing
information.
other stuff. You know.
Kicking a flagpole ain't pushing the envelope. That's just
a flagpole's an asshole.
Nah, I mean
that's just the industry shitting on you.
I'm just
but
saying.
That's besides the point.
I think you're right to an extent, Dave. I think you're right. If the rule is not black and white, if the rule's gray,
hey,
why not push?
Why not push? Why not be there?
I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Right, but there's also flat out cheating. There's also flat out breaking the
there's
rule.
that too.
You know the rule. You
There's that
know
too.
what the rule states, and you push beyond it.
Yeah.
And that you have to say that is a thing.
I guess here's my problem with the whole penalizing someone for information.
Here's my problem with not penalizing someone. Okay, this is the point of all of this: is the leagues have been
they're worried about bad PR.
They're worried about bad PR, and they've been brushing it under the rug for years. So there's nothing stopping guys from continuing to do it, continue to push the limits, continue to break the rules, and pay a little bit of a fine and move on. They finally came out and hammered somebody, maybe because, a Facebook troll site put it out there and they felt like they had to because they got so much bad PR. But they finally put it out there, and I think that was the right thing to do. And I think the leagues need to do that. They need to make some examples so dudes will start fucking following along. Because if they don't, the guys that are going to hurt the worst are the guys that don't fucking break the rules. And that's the fact, dude.
Here's the problem I have with that, Brian. And you tell me, is there anyone you know that understands gray as well as or better than I do? It's either no information or all information.
No, it's you cannot receive information once you know where the lake is. You cannot get information from anybody outside that tournament circuit.
But you can people
it's
within.
Clear and obvious.
But you can still get it from within.
But you can't from people without.
All right.
So, but we're still getting information.
But somebody got busted getting information outside that circle.
I'm on Team Sprague.
No. You got to listen to the facts. He got information from somebody outside the circle, a clear violation of the absolute written down rules.
They're horrible rules, man.
Yeah, but here's
you're right though, Brian. You're right.
But it's the rules.
You're right. There are the rules.
Here's a different way around it.
Horrible
I don't
rules.
disagree.
Here's a different way around it, which I know is happening in both leagues, which is you can get information if it's public.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the way these guys are getting around it is, and it's
Forums.
I know it's happening. I'm not going to say names again.
Forums.
I know it's happening. Dude, create a fucking
Forum.
Facebook. Create a fake Facebook name.
Yeah.
I've got one, by the way. I'm not going to tell you my Facebook name.
Oh, well, yeah, but
I
that's-
use it to look at old bottles.
Right.
But listen.
But not for fishing shit.
You create a fake Facebook
Maybe
name.
the fake best name ever, but go ahead.
It is a good fake name.
Yeah.
You create a fake name. You go on there. You post the waypoint. You post what's going down on this lake. But you have the end, you kind of know, you tell this guy. The guy goes and looks at it. It's public. He's not cheating. That's a public post.
He's showing
That's a
Becky's
Facebook
face.
Post.
Talking about cheating.
Yeah.
Yo,
It's a
Beck.
public post.
Yo, Beck, what are you doing?
Beck's banging a pool boy.
No, so I agree.
Caleb.
The bottom line is if, like with Sprague, if if the rule is there and it's crossed, I agree with you, Brian. He's got to be, put on blast.
You got to put somebody on blast and keep the people honest. Otherwise, the shit's just going to continue. And the only guys that are going to get hurt are the guys that are actually paying attention and following the rules.
Yeah.
So the honest guys are the ones getting fucked.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with it.
But
now you're either going to have it or you're not going to have it.
Yeah. Well,
Everything's open. Everything's open, and then
Well,
and then it's the Wild West.
How does he feel? He's got to be pissed off that
Who?
he's.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be mad because he's being persecuted when the last 2 years before him, all these other dudes did the same shit, and all they got was a fine.
Deep State just pointed out how they do it. Mike just told you how they do it, man. They put it out there in public forums. And this kid got caught on the wrong side of black and white, and they're all doing it, man. It's
No,
either
they're not all doing it. There's a percentage.
But it's either information or no friggin' information. You can't have a cutoff.
Blue dots, babe.
There is a cutoff. As soon as they announce a schedule, that's it.
Blue
You
dots.
can talk to people within your league.
Blue dots,
you cannot
babe.
talk to people outside your league. You cannot text somebody in another league and blatantly ask for information and tell that person that, oh, yeah, I can receive information until December 31st.
You're right. I can't disagree
Which is
with
a
you.
fucking lie.
Problem is, I had a co-angler.
I'm just saying, besides all that, this is what went happen.
But I had a co who traveled with a very I will not say who it is, very famous person.
Yeah.
And he had 12 guides. He had the money to pay 12 guides to go win that money, and he
12
did.
guides for blue dots.
I know this as a matter of fact.
No, I got you.
So, like, for
Blue
me,
dots.
I'm jaded because I know what they're doing. And here's this dude scraping, trying to compete with these ultimate layer, high deep state cheaters. All right? And he can't. And he got pinched for it, and they fell him for it, man. That's all. I'm sorry.
No, but
I'm sorry. Whatever.
I agree, but you got to make some examples. So, MLF came out. They put it out there. Maybe they were forced, but I think it was a good thing.
It
And
may
I
have
think
been
it
too
needs to
much for them
happen.
not to cover up, but whatever.
I think they need to. I think some leagues need to.
It's got to be no info or all the info money can buy because the guys with money are still buying it.
That's right. Except for Lou Minotti.
Now, Lou Minotti in his boat falling apart with his friend.
Dude, no electronics.
His friend's the propeller.
That's what I want to know. I want to know how you guys went out on Saginaw Bay with nothing on the front deck and caught them like that.
That's crazy.
You do not want to know the story.
That's crazy.
No, we want to know the story. Go ahead.
We need to know the story.
We have to know.
Come on, cough it up.
So I'll start out because in this situation, I feel like I was the more logical one. Leading up to the Saginaw Bay tournament, I was like, "Oh, Lewis, where are you looking at fishing?" Because I knew we were going to target smallmouth, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm looking at Tewas Bay," and I was like, "All right." So I pulled it up on the map, and I looked at it, and I was like, "We must be looking at the wrong Tewas Bay." And I was like, "Lewis, this thing's 50 miles from where we put in." He was like, "Oh yeah, I know." I was like, "Well, I don't think we can get there," and he was like, "We can get there." He was like, "We'll have to fill up somewhere halfway down the middle."
Somewhere.
A floating gas station out there.
Yeah.
So we mapped out all these gas stations that we could hit, and we found one in All Gray, which was halfway in the middle. So we could go there, fill up, take a breather, and get to Tewas Bay.
Which are 115, nonetheless.
Wow.
And we were never smart enough during the tournament to actually figure out if this gas station was open.
Oh my God.
And the day before the tournament, we got off the water and we were like, all right, we'll call them, figure out when they open so we can figure out the time. And we call them and they were like, oh, sorry, we're closed. The first day. So I looked at Lewis. I was like, we spent our whole practice figuring out Tewas Bay. What are we going to do? And he looked at me straight face and goes, oh yeah, we'll still get there. I was like, are we actually going to get there? And he was like, yeah, we'll figure it out. And so we filled the gas tank up as far as it could go. He took it off his truck and jacked the thing up to sit the boat this way so we could fit just a half a gallon more gas in there.
Oh my God.
And we sent it out there and it was the most terrifying ride of my life.
Yes.
You didn't.
I was getting water sprayed in my eyes, and I wear a contact, so I don't want them to fall out because I wouldn't be able to see what was going on. So I had my eyes closed, the beginning of the ride, the first 45 minutes into this hour and 45-minute ride, and I have closed. I'm getting beat to hell. I have a flogger in between my feet. The flogger splits in half. I was like, this isn't good. And then all of a sudden I hear Lewis go, oh no. And I'm trying to wipe my eyes and I look and I just see 4 or 5 footers coming our way.
Oh my God, dude. With a 115, you can't even get the nose up, dude. So go ahead.
Oh my God, this is great.
We finally made it to our spot, and I didn't think about it. I was like, oh, yeah, we're making a long run, but I shouldn't get wet. I don't know why I didn't think that.
Oh.
So I was just wearing a sweatshirt and bibs, and by the time we got there, I, like, couldn't move. I was shaking.
Yeah.
I feel like I was on the verge of hypothermia.
Yep.
And Lewis pulls up to the spot. We get to our first bedfish mark, first cast. He hooks him up. And I was like, oh. So I'm like reaching, trying to unfold the net. I can't feel any of my limbs. And I'm like, Lewis, I don't know if I can net this thing. He was like, you'll be all right. And I'm like,
oh, man.
But
this is true.
We got it in the net, and then the rest of the day was history.
Dude, what do you think is more stressful, the big fish on the end of the rod or being the guy that has to net the big fish?
The net man is far more stressful.
I agree, dude.
I agree with
I
that.
thought about that when Mike. I don't know if you heard earlier. Mike was telling a story of netting Vegas's big win
yeah.
at 4.
I
I think netting it is way worse than
Way
being
more
the dude
stressful.
that has to like, fight it.
Yeah,
You know?
the net man's so much more stressful because
Yeah.
day one all of our 5 fish were all bedfish, and so Lewis caught all 5 bedfish. And so, of course, I'm the one netting them, and I'd never been around smallmouth. I'd caught one smallmouth in Arkansas, and I don't even know if you qualified as a smallmouth. And all tournament, Lewis was like, yeah, smallmouth fight different. Like, you'll just have to see. And he hooks in the first one, day one, and it's diving at the boat, jumping, going every which direction. I'm standing there with the net like, I don't know what I'm doing.
So this is an important informational tip. Lewis, what are you telling them to do while you're fighting the fish? Are you coaching them along?
Oh, absolutely. You have to.
So what are you saying? Because people are listening.
You're saying, don't stab at the fish.
Stop poking at it like it's a boarding pirate, right? Like,
it's either put the net in the water or take the net out of the water. That's
right.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. No, but the best, I think the best part of the Saginaw story is day 2. We're running back, and nobody else experienced this unless you were at that bay. The wind was blowing straight out of the southwest, and it was just straight into the mouth of the bay, and it was bad. And we were running hard, and I have no idea how it happened, but about 10 minutes into our hour and 45-minute drive of just getting our brains beat in, I was like, I think it's time to check on the fish. We had 19 and a quarter pound of smallmouth in the live well. I'm like, Michael, take a look at the fish. He opens the live well. There is no water.
All of us have had that, yeah.
None.
Oh my God.
So dude, we're in 3.5, 4 footers, and I'm firing the boat in a reverse, trying to fill up the live well. It's not filling fast enough. I end up taking Michael grabs his knife. I cut the freaking top off of a gallon jug. I'm shoveling water into the live well in the middle of the freaking bay, dude. We had to shovel water into the live well probably 4 times on the way back.
Dude,
it emptied 4 times.
This is great. It's funny because as you guys are telling the story, it reminds me of Brian's life every day.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shit show. Just like this.
Damn.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. Mike, I want to know.
Such a dick. He's like, you're welcome.
I know, you're welcome.
like vindictively. Like,
when you had your eyes closed.
Like working for a Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but here's what I want to know. When you had your eyes closed on that first day.
Like everybody on Facebook is right.
What were you thinking about when you had your eyes closed? Were you imagining like a calm cove of Lake Norman and like a hot chick with giant titties walking out on the dock? What were you imagining when your eyes were closed?
So I was mad the whole week. I thought Lewis was a complete dumbass for wanting to do this. I was like, this is never gonna work. We're never gonna make it. Like, you see the boat we're in, and I'm holding on to the oh shit handle, and I'd like to mention that all the screws unthreaded themselves. So it was tight when I first started holding it, and then it just got severely loose. It's going
shit
everywhere.
handle. I love that.
The whole thing I'm thinking about is I do not want to fly out of the boat, because I was like, that would be worst case scenario. I'm banging my knees under the console, just getting blown around. And then at one point, I was so cold, like I couldn't feel anything. And I was like, this isn't good.
But
I wasn't thinking about anything good while going down there.
So going down, you were already like going back. You had to feel way better. Like you weren't cold on the way back, knowing you had bangers in the bucket, right?
Yeah. So day one going back, I was like, all right, like, we should be good. Like, we have 17 so pounds. I was like, we're not going to be winning the thing, but I think we gave a shot to win team of the year come day 2. And I'm looking at Lewis. Like, we didn't talk the whole ride. It was like a few words like, are you good? I'm good. Okay, let's keep going. So we're going down, and we're probably, I don't know, 30 minutes away from the ramp. And Lewis looks at me and said, this isn't good. And I was like, I don't want to hear this. And Lewis goes, I think we're not going to make it, because we were filling up on gas before we got in the river. And he was like, we're going to run out of gas. And I was like, we wasted all this money to come down here, got our shit beat in for 5 days straight just to run out of gas day 1. And Lewis goes, Michael, I want you to clench your butt cheeks. We are going to do something. And I was like, and I'm looking over the side of the boat. We're probably running in, I don't know, 1.5 feet of water. And I'm seeing boulders all besides us. Well, because Lewis decided to cut this point to get to the gas station we were going to go to. And so I'm sitting there like, as I'm just seeing rocks. I was like, his lower unit's about to be gone.
Lou, you're like fucking Han Solo, dude. Like, getting after it, dude. I love you, man.
Love it. Love it.
Holy shit.
Living on the edge.
All I know is when you hear like the pros and all these fishermen talk about when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. They ain't shitting. Because it was meant to be.
Those moments, though, like when I look back, like those moments of scary intensity are some of the best moments of my tournament career.
Because the dopamine feed, dude.
Right.
You
right.
know?
Like I've had some success over the years where it was like easier success, and I don't remember those as much. I remember the ones where it's scary, or you're nervous, or you're worried, or you're frightened. They're the ones I remember.
Because of those extra blood pumping drugs.
Yeah.
Dopamine, adrenaline.
Exactly.
All of it matters, man.
Exactly.
That's it. You explained that whole. I couldn't have. You described that so perfectly.
Yeah.
All of us that have completely relate to what that kid just said, man. You know?
Oh yeah, been there a lot.
Totally awesome, man.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Dude, when we rolled into the gas station, you know how when you're on E, you're bouncing E. We were not bouncing E. We were E.
Yeah, you were way defeated on the arm wrestling match, dude.
Fumes.
I always viewed it like arm wrestling. If it was moving, I knew I still had a fight. But it was like dead.
Yeah.
You knew you were dead, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fumes. Let me remind everybody watching, you got a brand new Ike Live show here.
Paul?
We've got the Illuminati on. Paul, what do you got?
Paul, what do you got for the Illuminati?
Questions, comments coming in? What do you got for Illuminati?
Fugazi? What do you got?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck Fish says, I fish on Saginaw Bay a lot, and this is a pretty crazy-ass story.
You've even freaked out a local. That's awesome. Huh. It's hard to do.
What else we got?
Well, talking about the list of rules not to do, Nolan Miner says, like, snagging bass.
That's true.
Yep.
Well, who's shitting on with that one?
Well, you know.
It's been
I mean,
done too.
it wasn't proven.
And
what's up? What's up? What are you doing over there? Who's paying you?
Somebody's got.
Who's fucking paying you?
Somebody's got to defend the guy.
Bullshit tonight.
He's not here.
He had a treble hook in his scalp. It wasn't proved.
He's not here to defend himself. Someone's got to defend the guy.
That's right.
Who are we talking about?
Nobody.
The fish that had a hook in his mouth, not the one in the back of his head.
I think I've snagged a bass or two back when I was like walking almond banks
in Hershey Lake, banging him in the face.
On accident, I hope.
No, in his face.
How much they paying you, Dave?
I'm just trying to. I'm not. No, come on, man. I'm just playing defense.
Everybody
needs a Johnny Cochran.
Yeah, but
go ahead, Lou. What do you got?
Johnny makes stuff rhyme, and if it doesn't rhyme,
Johnny did. Go ahead,
and you
Lou.
make stuff rhyme.
I can rhyme.
I know. That's unfair.
On the snag fish topic, day 2 at Saginaw. This isn't no huge secret. I was throwing a pink Senko on a a pink Bizbait sassy stick on a half-bedded smallmouth. It was one of them fish that was real weird.
Half-bedded?
I threw that thing into the bed and it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Just straight gone. And I said, it was a big one. I leaned into it. We fought it. I was fishing 6-pound test, fought it for 843 years. Finally get it in the net, and that thing's got it right here. and that fish went back. It was a 4.5 pounder that would have given us 20 pounds day 2, and I said, I'm not risking this with all on the line. So
Why? It was clean.
Sometimes honesty pays off.
No, that didn't pay off there. You shouldn't have done that.
Why? No, you can't snag a fish.
He didn't snag it on purpose.
Well, if you see it, if you're sight fishing.
But he didn't do it on purpose.
Nah.
Get
You're
in that
sight
ass,
fishing,
Lou.
You can't do it.
Lou, you throw that fish right in the bucket.
Lou.
I'm telling you, Papa Dave.
No, I
telling
mean,
you.
if you're throwing a pink Senko
Yes.
and you're wacky rigging, blind casting,
In
and
the
you hook
sun,
one in the
and he
throat,
can't see the glare.
That's legal. If
Yeah,
you throw out
I saw
there-
that fish.
Yeah, if you see the fish and you're bed fishing for it, you can't hook it in the throat.
He didn't know he was hooking in the throat. Did he say that? I am a why not guy. I am not.
It's in that gray area that
I'm in
Dave was
agreement
talking
with this.
about.
He's fighting it, and I have the net, and I finally net it, and I was like, good job, Michael. And he pulls up, and he goes, I hooked in there. I said, what do you care? I was like,
Throw that in the fucking
that
bucket.
in the
What are you,
box.
fucking Mother Teresa? Throw it in the bucket and shut up. Let's go.
Illuminati.
Illuminati's honest.
I was like, I mean, you kind of saw it, but the glare on the water, the waves, I was
Yes.
like, you didn't really see it.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, it's not even a question.
That's true.
Don't you be looking at me, Brian. You know you have the things right in the bucket.
Listen, I may have had it in the bucket too, David, but Illuminati didn't.
Illuminati.
And that needs to be fucking respected.
If you knew where he grew up at and you saw that neighborhood,
yeah,
it is absolutely it's where the Brady Bunch grew up.
Yeah.
All right. It's a place where everyone's perfect. No one blows.
Well, there he is.
Brielle, New Jersey is beautiful, and that's why he did that.
Lou, you're beautiful, Lou.
If he
I'm
was
here
from
to tell
Runnymede-
you not everybody's perfect in Brielle, New Jersey.
The ones I saw are, if you were from Runnymede, that fish would have had a cold tag hanging out of its face in 3 seconds.
And not a regular cold tag. We're not talking about a little, like, inconspicuous cold tag.
No, it is.
We're
Shut
talking
up.
about, like,
Yeah.
a balloon.
Don't
a
touch it.
fucking full-size balloon.
Yeah.
With a giant, and you're not even doing the non-penetrating.
No.
Dude, straight through his freaking
Right through.
Right through. You're penetrating.
Guy I found from nowhere, don't you even touch this fish because it's not coming out the bucket. All right? And you leave it right in there. It got caught normal, and you shut your mouth. You shut your whole mouth.
This is great. This is great. All right, guys. Here's the question, I've been thinking about this whole conversation. What's next for you guys? You guys have been through a lot.
Jobs.
No, that I know jobs, but I mean, what's next?
Direct deposit.
I know. That's reality. But what's next in terms of fishing for you guys? In terms of fishing, tournament fishing.
All right, I'll lead this one off.
Okay.
What's next for me is, I guess, fishing the college bracket.
Okay.
But a big issue with the college bracket is I have never owned a boat. I've never really driven a boat.
Right.
So I'm going to have to get that figured out before I make a fool of myself on live TV.
Okay.
You apparently drove next to Han Solo, so what do you even? You should know how to do it. Like Chewbacca wouldn't be like, I don't know what to do. He'd be like, right behind the wheel, right behind the wheel, dude.
The issue is the boat they're probably going to give me in, Lewis wouldn't even know how to drive. It's got the hot foot. It's got all the fancy gadgets and gizmos. He wouldn't even know how to drive.
Kayaks is the answer, Michael.
No, you go ahead. You sound like us talking like that. You're not sound like a young kid.
No, go ahead, buddy.
Get after it. You
But
figured out how to foot out.
I'll fish that. I'm still in school for another semester, so I'll be eligible to fish
Nice.
next year's college series. I probably won't fish that just because I'm trying to graduate.
Yeah.
No, because he's trying to finish his college fishing career on top.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, like, I've reached the pinnacle of fishing for my first
Exactly.
year, so I shouldn't even try again. I'm going to just retire and then graduate, and I'll start building houses because that's what I want to do.
There you go,
There
bud.
you go.
Yep.
There you go. Brian the Carpenter.
Finish on top.
Can relate to that.
They're going to make real money.
Yeah.
Stop chasing fool's gold.
No need. Yeah, exactly. No need to try to branch off from the, from the coaching tree. And yeah, I get it. Good job, kid.
All
You're
this
smart.
to fish.
I'm gonna be an asshole and try and do what Mike does.
Yeah. All this from fish.
I mean, Lou, let me tell you what, Lou. You got the guts to do it, and guts a lot of times is what it takes, man.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna give it hell. That's all I know.
Yeah. So
I don't know where the money's going to come from, but
so Lou, what are you
Well,
going to do tournament wise?
Let me say this right here.
Yeah.
Anybody out there, any sponsors out there, if Lou's fucking saying this is what I use, I'm gonna believe Lou.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the truth.
He was throwing a fish back in the water, a 4-pounder that there was nobody else around.
No.
The dude's honest.
For 50 miles.
50 miles.
Yeah, 50
I'm gonna
miles.
I'm gonna believe Lou.
Yeah.
That 4-pounder's going for a 30-mile ride with me. Sorry.
It's going to be your best friend.
You should have ate it, dude.
You would have taken it home and eat it. You weren't even going to weigh it in.
I would have told that fish, you should have put it in your mouth.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because you're coming for the same ride as the dude that ate it.
All right, so Lou,
Sponsor
Lou, are you going to fish the Opens?
Lou.
Or are you going to fish the Toyota Series? What are you planning?
So I obviously the dream scenario is that we roll up to this 8-person tournament called the Bracket and I win it.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. You know, we all know as well as anybody else that the tournament's a tournament.
Yeah.
You know, it's like baseball. Any given team can win on any given day.
So what's going on with that, Lou? Explain. Like, do you have a tournament coming up? Or what do you got going on?
So yeah, we there's the national championship. So the college series, it's all leads up to the national championship. And the top 3 teams, as well as of last year, the team of the year will fish the college bracket. So they take the team of the year and the top 3 teams from the national championship. So 4 teams, they split them up into 8 boats. And then they do a bracket style, just like March Madness. And everybody goes head to head against each other for, I guess, 3 or 4 days. And whoever comes out on top gets a classic berth, a boat and a truck for a year, as well as free opens for a year.
Wow. So,
by the way, real quick, Nolan, who we had on earlier,
yeah,
he missed that by 4 ounces.
Wow.
4 ounces. Dude caught one at the end of the final day to bump it by 4 ounces.
Wow.
So, Lou, how are you financially for this? Like, you guys set up? You have a GoFundMe? What do you got going on?
Go fuck me.
We're not. We are not. No, I mean, I'm just going to see how the bracket goes. And then next year, if I could, you'll pros want to try and take a shot at it, swipe a credit card until you die type of beat. And we'll see what happens.
So when is this tournament?
I like it. That's the thing. We don't know when or where.
Wow. And this is a BASS sanctioned event, right?
What the fuck?
Yes.
Huh.
That's convenient.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Well, you want maybe like start a GoFundMe or something?
But here's
like,
the thing.
What the
Listen, if we're all here when they finally announce it, dude, we should go to a bar and watch this. It's live, right? Is it broadcast live every day?
Last year it was broadcasted live on FS1.
Okay.
I don't know what they're doing this year.
I'm saying let's fund these kids and get them some money to go down there and
I
compete.
got no fucking fun shit. I got my own kids. Who you funding, bro?
I know how much money you just throw around loosely. You got more than I do. And
Yeah,
I would throw these kids some money.
All right, what are we talking about? A couple dollars? I'm in.
So what if Brian?
I got PvP over here. I got it.
Here's the thing. What if Brian's Ghost sponsors you guys?
Oh, if I'm a part of a Ike Live episode that includes Brian's Ghost, I'm good. I'm good for life. That's it.
Wait. I hear him. Hold on.
How much do you need?
Brian's Ghost, is that you?
How much do you need? It's gonna come at a price.
Wow. Brian's Ghost, where have you been all this time?
Lay low. The law's after me.
The law?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Well, it's good to have you back, Brian's Ghost.
Thank you. I'm hoping this new merch sets me straight.
Wow, the return of Brian's Ghost.
He's ready to sponsor you, Lou.
Huh.
You know I'm a hardcore Ike Live fan when I need Brian's Ghost on an episode.
Lou, thank you.
You don't need Brian's Ghost.
Yo, can you imagine?
Brian's Ghost will lead you to death.
I know, we'll lead you. But listen to this. Can you imagine a jersey with the logos? Brian's Ghost, Brian's van, like all the
Brian's Huffy. What about Brian's Huffy?
Hudley Crockett.
That's a fucking fan.
I need a ghost riding a wheelie on Brian's Huffy in front of the white van.
Being run down by that white van.
Being run over by the white paddle van.
Oh shit!
That is. Lou, when you finally find out, please reach out to Brian. You know, you're a lot younger than me. It's not charity. I'd like to throw you some money to get you set up to go compete.
No.
No, I would do that. You're a New Jersey guy. I'd like to do that for you.
What about the other guy? Well,
I will
you fuck Fugazi or what?
The problem is my eyes are so bad I can't see his first name. That's why I haven't been saying
It's
it at all.
Michael. It's Mike's Fugazi.
I can't say I saw it was Fugazi. I can see that.
It's the
Sorry,
most
Mike.
manly, strong name in the world. How you gonna forget that?
I mean, dude, that's my favorite archangel, Michael. I got him on my wall. You talking about? I pray to him all the time.
No, you don't pray shit.
I pray to. I sometimes I ask Archangel Michael to help me out.
Help
with
me.
some stuff.
I fucked up. Lost my keys.
My iPhone's gone.
So hold on, that's
Never
Brian.
mind.
That's Brian's ghost in real voice talking to me. Stray me from Jesus, man.
real quick story. Before whatever else. I think everybody appreciate this. So, 2019 Classic, Knoxville is essentially the death of the elites at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Lou.
Sad turn.
What?
Go ahead, buddy. Come on.
Yeah. No, I mean that's what it was.
I like
I agree.
I was there, and my buddy Trevor Topkin was there. Some of y'all listening may know him. He's an excellent fisherman who's coming up in the world. But anyways, we were there having a good time. We were sitting in the rafters because we're weirdos, and that's what we do. We like take it all in.
Hell yeah.
And Mike, you came on the stage and you said, "Hey, this bar, this hotel, Ike Live, everyone's invited."
Yeah.
And undisclosed aged Trevor and Lewis showed up and had a blast. And
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
And I will also say that I think we're probably like the last people in line to talk to you that night, and we pleaded that you come back to Bass. And I am as ecstatic as it could be that you're there.
Thank you.
And just know there's a lot of people pulling for you, and we want to see you in the Classic.
Thank
again,
you.
man.
Appreciate that.
Fucking awesome.
Thank
bro.
you.
Yeah.
Lou's got the charisma to make it, man.
Yeah, Lou.
For sure.
Ike Lives, if this podcast dies, we're going to start Lou Live.
Yeah. That'd be a good show, too.
I need a gig after this one.
Yeah.
And if you need a disgruntled old guy to make fun of everything.
And
here's
I'm the producer. I got you.
About half of your shows will work if Brian's your producer. About half will work and half won't. So it's a pretty good ratio. So
that is accurate. That is
you got a
accurate.
50% chance of your articulate voice making it to the airwaves.
Yeah.
Maybe 50%.
Yeah, 50%. Guys, thank you for coming on the show. Dude, I honestly had a lot of fun in the last hour with you guys. More fun than a lot of guests.
I'm going to start following them because of these guys.
You ain't following shit. You ain't even on social media.
How'd I know about their story before you sent it to me?
Because I sent it to you.
I read that shit before you sent it to me.
I sent it to you.
He's on MySpace. What are you talking about?
That's
he's
right.
He's on social media. He's got MySpace account.
So Lou, was that the classic party that was at the hotel?
That was at the hotel.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hotel looked like a spaceship, big flat front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was
it.
mad.
Yeah, the hotel was falling apart.
That was a blast.
Cockroach.
That's all I'll say.
So fun.
It's the only time in my life to get a little serious, and I will cherish that night forever because of this. I was, within. I don't know. I really. This is founders to blame. I don't remember every detail, but I was within extremely close. I don't remember if I said any words or not to Aaron, and because of that, I will always remember that night.
Yeah.
That's why you should punch everyone in the arm, so you can say you punched them in the arm, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Right in the arm. Just give him a shot. Bang.
Good shit, man.
Yeah.
Awesome
Good
night.
stuff, man.
Guys, thanks for coming on tonight. It was awesome having you on.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. It's the dream of mine, really.
Appreciate it, guys.
Well, you're on the next show too.
Yes.
And
every show.
You
for the
too,
next
Fugazi.
3 years.
That's it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you. You too.
Mikey Fugazi.
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 And Louis.
Illuminati.
Dude, his town, I can't preach how fucking cool Brielle is enough.
That's cool.
Like, I would love to live there.
I've heard of the name, but I've never been there.
It's above it's above Tom's River, Lakewood. It's like 195, go north a little bit off 9, and it's like it's east of Manasquan, north of 9.
Dude, it's interesting he brought up Aaron. I find myself being on the water thinking of him like random times, like something will happen. Like the other day, Vegas caught those 2 fish. He caught them on a robo worm.
Yeah, it's his
bowl
gig.
bluegill, and it's not even like an Aaron signature color, but like I started thinking about Aaron because it was a robo worm. You know what I mean? Like I find myself, it happens a lot. You know?
Oh yeah.
I was on the Upper Bay practicing this week, and I launched out of Gunpowder.
Yeah.
And you know, I was like in the southern part of the bay, like where
he
Aaron
killed
won,
it.
and
Yeah.
and I was just like little things keep popping up. You know? Thinking
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah.
How's the universe take a soul like that, right?
It's fucked up, but it's life, man. Sucks.
Well, I don't know.
But he was an amazing
dude.
Yeah,
Great guy.
amazing dude, and yeah,
Sweet soul.
I've got his Bassmaster article, Bassmaster magazine, in the bar. I see him every day.
It's awesome. All right, Bri, here's what we're doing. We are going to do the MTB unboxing, and then after we do this, Paul, we're going to select our like and share winner, if we can do that.
We can do that.
And
we should let Paul get the first crack.
Yeah, Paul, you
What
want
the
the first
fuck,
crack?
man?
What do you think?
I've been here for 10 years. I've not got the first crack
Well,
yet.
I think Paul should get the first crack. I still want to open it though, and here's the cool tie-in. Brian the Carpenter, I'm opening this MTB with a Founder's bottle cap.
A gold one, nonetheless, from
Ready?
Magazagave.
And here it goes. I always like the sound. You ready? Ah! You heard the pop?
You got one.
It was good. All right. Paul?
Yeah, hey, go ahead, Paul.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Let's see what we
privileged
got.
Paul here. Gonna open up the bar.
Yeah. Oh man, I can just smell that jealousy. Oh, let's see what we got. Oh,
Paul,
man.
good job.
Oh,
Paul got a first pick. Brian
Paul's
never did.
learning.
Good work, Paul.
Here's the rules, guys. You know the deal. We're gonna pass the box. We're gonna pick one bait,
Right.
and then pass it on. And we're gonna show you, give you an idea of the different types of baits that can appear. In your
Paul
fishing
settled
tackle
in
box.
from the guardrail angler aspect.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at him. Oh, I mean, he's dropping it.
Well, here's the cool thing, though.
dropping
I was considering it.
We've done pro boxes. We do a lot of pro boxes, but
Oh, that's all
tonight
you.
this is an elite box. This is
all
the juice.
It's the red box.
It's the red box.
Let's
This
not
is
play.
The juice.
Let's not play.
Super juice, dude.
Each
right.
bait's probably $9,
Paul,
$10
what you doing?
retail.
Picking like 10 things out of
No,
that box?
I'm just looking.
Oh, okay.
I haven't made up my mind yet, man. Give me a
Paul's
break.
very well thought
All right,
out,
you know
dude.
what?
Don't
You
play
know
with
what?
Paul.
Yeah. Whatever.
Brian already
here's what
took-
I'm picking. All right.
Right, you got yours?
Yeah,
Oh,
Brian
oh.
got one.
Pass
got
back
his.
over this way.
Yeah, he got his.
I got second pick, bro. What do you got, Paul?
Pick one thing.
I got the Team Arc TS 115.
Oh.
Who?
It is a
Arc?
yeah, topwater slider. It looks like a walk the dog pencil popper.
Ooh.
Hark.
It's topwater season.
Wow.
So stick it in front of Brian's face.
I want to see that. Can I see
Number
that?
one.
No, so people can see
Yeah,
it.
Paul. I want to see that.
Hark. Who goes there?
All right, maybe next we fire Paul from first opening.
Oh. I kind of like that. 3 hooks on it?
Let me see that.
Nice looking
Is
topwater
it
bait.
smallmouth bait?
I mean,
That's a midnight bait right there. I'll be throwing that at midnight.
Dude.
What is that?
Little cup to the
Oh,
mouth.
are you kidding me?
I couldn't tell if that was a crankbait or
Paul,
a bait.
Right.
3
Paul
hooks,
is
though.
absolutely throwing this while the rest of us are dealing with our rotten fucking kids.
I know.
3 hooks, black head, white
Paul's-
body.
Paul's
He's
lucky.
killing it.
What do
In
you
that
got? What do you
regard.
got?
And he's, dude, this spook, it's a spook looking bait. It's a walker, and it's
Yeah.
amazing looking,
Walker,
bro.
but it's got a little, does have a little cup to the mouth.
3 hooks,
Just-
great hooks, very sticky.
Yeah.
While the rest of us are dealing with life, Paul's fishing with this at 11 o'clock at night.
So miserable,
Hearing
Dave.
blow ups.
No, I'm not ripping on you. I'm jealous. Don't
Ah.
mistake my envy for insult.
Yeah, Paul. You can't come in here all single and shit and you know.
And self-conscious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
pick,
man.
pick one.
Yeah, pick one. Self-conscious or single. All right.
I even
Be
like the
such
way
a
they have it weighted.
piss.
I'm in the gray area, Dave. I'm in the gray area.
No, you're not.
Nope.
You're single as shit, and you fish at night.
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah, yeah.
Embrace it, because everyone loves you,
You
for
have
that.
no stress right now. Ain't
No,
nobody. Nobody's like, hey, where you at?
The worst
Where's
part
it
of
at?
your day, Paul, is worrying about whether a red light's going to make you 10 minutes early or 11 minutes early. All right, that's about it.
All right, Brian, what do you got?
Oh man.
All right, Brian, what do you got?
10 minutes early or 11 minutes
11
early.
minutes early. It's a big difference. That's a minute.
No, that motherfucker's early.
Talking
You know
about
he
60
is, man.
seconds
He
here.
ain't late.
Jesus Christ.
He's waiting for the time clock. Everybody else is rushing in, sweaty.
10
and
minutes.
Paul's been there.
Sweaty, wet, nervous, panicking.
Paul's time card in his hand, dry, waiting to punch.
Streaks.
Oh, what do you got,
Z-Man streaks.
Streaks.
It's a little fluky.
Elastic?
Flukity fluke, yeah.
Hell
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, flukity fluke. Badass. Dude, there's some good stuff in this box. Do I have to give it up? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I gotta give it
pass
up.
it over to me and Dave.
All
Get some
right.
stuff out of
Yeah,
there.
we're gonna light
Hey,
that box
Mike,
up.
I'll pass you the box if you pass me that bait back.
Yeah, you need this bait. Dude, I'm telling you. That, honestly, that's juice.
I
Keep
like that bait a lot.
You need to keep that and throw
I like that bait a lot.
I want to hear reports, Paul, from that one, because that one looks
Take-
right.
Yeah, Paul, or on the water correspondence, very
Yeah.
necessary
Take that
for that
over
bait.
there.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, keep that, Paul. That looks freaking
I wouldn't throw
phenomenal.
anything more than 12 mono, though, dude.
No.
Yeah.
Man, that's weird.
Paul.
What?
You have to talk into the microphone.
It's all right.
Wow. Dave, this
What?
box is loaded.
No,
with
that box
bear,
is
dude.
jacked, dude. I can already tell what these two dudes already jacked off of it.
Jacked off.
Yo, check
Give me
out, check out that crank. Check out that crankbait in that
All
top
right.
right-hand corner. That's
Yes.
pretty interesting.
I'm on it. Let me put this whiskey
There's
down.
a couple of crankbaits up in there.
That one with the real flat, like lazy Ike looking flat.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so I got 4 choices of. I got really good. Oh my, what's this swim jig? Holy, I'm making my glasses on for this one. I want to be able to read who the manufacturer is. Sorry, young people who don't need glasses to see shit. My apologies. All right. Dude, this box is banging.
That box is this.
No,
is a
I'm
loaded
Mike.
box, dude.
I am absolutely vetoing what you made me have to select, and I'm going my own way, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Lord,
What do you
there's some
mean?
good
I'm
baits
going
in
with a
this
$20
box.
crankbait.
Ooh.
Easy.
Really?
Good.
Lucky
You
Craft?
do you first.
Okay. I actually picked. I thought this was interesting. This is Euro Tackle Finesse Meta Crawl. Here's the thing I like about this, Brian the Carpenter. The crawl size. You ready for this, Dave? 2.4 inches.
Back in the Bitsy jig.
Dude, tiny.
Give me
2.4.
Look at that.
forward
2.4,
to
dude.
me.
Stop.
Wow.
Interesting.
Hold on.
Small.
Mike, more
Small.
importantly, what's the most important thing about this? Feel the middle.
Muy pequeño.
How far are you skipping with a finesse jig with that?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the
Got a little
thickness
bit
of that bait,
yeah.
you are bouncing that thing
Yeah.
for miles, dude.
On a little jig.
Who makes that?
This is
Dirt
Euro
box.
Tackle.
Dirt box bitches.
Let me see the box.
Euro
You fucking
Tackle.
Brian.
Oh, wait a minute. Euro Tackle. Made in Russia.
Give me it.
Oh, boy.
I'm all about Putin right now. I don't give a fuck what all you fucking twats say. Let me see. Hold on.
Made in Russia.
It ain't made in Russia.
That's what it says.
Hold on. It does say made. Yeah. Euro tackle finesse. Metacraw. Pheromone scented. Pheromone technology.
Pheromones.
Put the helmet on, Dave.
Don't you doubt the technology.
Is Euro Crawl.
It will be at your own device.
What would you, Stormtrooper, how would you rig this, Stormtrooper? Would you, trailer or Texas or?
I would most gladly rig it on the back of a bitchy jig. 1/8 ounce to skip absolutely accurately. Next question.
Do you feel like you could catch multi-species?
Yes. I will catch the walleye. I will catch the pickerel. And I will catch the smallmouth and the largemouth bass with said bait.
Oh, okay.
Next question.
Color-wise, what
Black.
do you think about this? Black? Black, blue?
Absolutely black, blue, or watermelon would be most advantageous for the situation of catching fish. Next question.
Last question. You have no problems with this bait being made in Russia?
None. Vladimir Putin is clearing out his deep state in Ukraine. Biolabs cleaned out. Body part labs cleaned out.
all of the money laundering scams that the American deep state has been using through the Ukraine is no more because of Putin. Next question.
I don't have any more questions. Paul, you have any questions coming through the IM?
Yeah, as soon as Brian gets done over here.
Brian, do you have any questions for Stormtrooper?
Paul, in my country, you would have been thrown off a cliff. Next question.
That wasn't even a question, but okay. There was no pending question.
Yeah, that's what would happen. No games.
Information
Paul?
or no information, Dave?
What?
Information or no?
What information are you looking for specifically?
Is it
Ask the question.
Gray information?
Gray? What gray area would you like to speak about? Would you like to speak about time travel? Would you like to speak about the Clintons? What would you like to speak about? Would you like to speak about the Clintons and Epstein Island? What? What are you asking me?
Google.
Google all the questions. Time travel is what Brian is hinting to. So here's an interesting fact. In 1993, before the internet, Brian and I and Mike were at the Pennant, a bar with cover bands, and there was a man with long hair, a half shirt that said, "What is Google?" 1993. What is Google? He was dancing around, very, 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 very funny, very fruity, and he said, "What is Google?" No one knew what Google was back then. He's a time traveler, people. Understand that? The CIA has 8 methods of time travel. One is called chronovision, taken from the Vatican, taken by the CIA, where they can see every time and date through a screen. Fact. Questions?
Really?
Yes.
I kind of remember the Panic Google guy.
1993. Before anyone had the ability to type it in, here he is dancing to cover bands in front of all of us in plain sight with a T-shirt that says, "What is Google?"
What is Google?
Time travel.
Wow, this is interesting.
It's very interesting because here's the fact. The Vatican has figured out time travel many years ago. There is a doctor he's a judge actually, named Dr. Al Weber, a judge in New York. He was former EPA of New York City. He has been contacted by a travel agent from 1971, and this agent captured some of his books. He's an author about time travel. Chronovision is a method in which they see the future. Every single date and time and second is recorded. Make no mistakes. They use it as a method to make sure that...
It's like live scope.
Like Gliscope, yeah.
Think Fred Claus. Then he was looking at the little kid with the dog. They have that ability. Hollywood is controlled by the CIA.
What?
Please Google Mockingbird Media. Google Operation Mockingbird, and you will find that. I know it's all funny and unbelievable, but listen to me closely.
Operation Mockingbird.
Operation Mockingbird was a real thing, and in this current day, at 4:30, the Mockingbird Media gets their marching orders. It is no coincidence that they all report on the same thing every day at 4:30 in the morning. It all comes about. Oh, we're like, oh my God, global warming, temperatures are no warmer now than they were in 1972, than they were 2,000 years ago. Then New Jersey was under a mile of ice. There was the SUVs to melt the ice in. There was none. It's all a lie. You're all being fooled. You sheep, you stupid sheep. You friggin' stupid sheep. You watch the news, you're stupid. I can't stand you. If I was deep state, there'd be no runny nose virus. I would have eliminated all you sheep. Can we go to a commercial?
Stop. Oh my God.
But you know what?
This is a perfect time to end the show forever.
Forever.
It is right here.
Not just for tonight.
No,
Forever.
forever.
Forever, ever.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Brian the Carpenter. You're wrong, Brian
Honestly,
the Carpenter.
yeah. I feel like the guest that we had on tonight, and then this, it's a perfect time.
Yeah, it can't get any better.
I think that we should end every show with it. This is goodbye forever,
Yeah.
just in case.
Pretty good. This is like my when I look at my career, this is like my Delaware River win. I should have just ended it there. But I kept
The
going.
question is Ike alive? That's the new show. Is Ike alive? But I am so stoked on this Lucky Craft crankbait. You can get this if you subscribe to the Mystery Tackle Box. Dope shit.
Oh, that's actually a
Stacked.
good color, dude.
That's
What?
a good bait.
Whoa.
Takuhiro Mori with
I
his
see that?
$7,000 smile.
Wow, what a color pattern.
He gave very many dollars for that smile.
Holy hell.
He's not playing.
Flake.
There's not many braces running around. Brian, could you get this to him? Stop it. Can you zoom on Mike?
No, keep going. No. Stop it.
All right, I will keep going. Mike, what do you want to talk about? Mike, would you like to talk about time travel? The deep state?
Let's get Travis Manson on.
Where's Travis Manson?
Crush.
He has sent me satanic information that I would like to purse out with him.
Smallmouth Crush?
Yes, he has.
Huh.
Most disinformational to the teachings of Jesus. Yes.
Huh. Damn, that's a hot crankbait.
That's a good looking
Wow.
crankbait.
I like
they
it.
they will freaking eat that.
I like the range of the lip.
Wow.
Puts us in the
Yeah, it's a 4-footer, right?
the 3-meter range.
All right, so what did we learn tonight? Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay. It was a good show, and
I had a great time.
It was a great time. We had some great guests.
Yeah.
So the miners were great, of course.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What a beautiful story, man. Father with his 2 sons there.
Awesome story.
Raised them right.
Yes.
Grew up in Richmond.
Yes.
Or wherever they did.
Yep.
With the Richards.
They were southwestern Virginia, as they said, Brian.
Yes. Yes. And then, of course, Lewis and Michael were awesome. They were great.
That's right.
The Illuminati.
Illuminati was great.
Illuminati and
Great story.
Mike Fugaze.
And here's the other big news, Brian. We had appearances from Brian's Ghost and Stormtrooper.
Brian?
Long time. That's it.
We are in an omniverse.
Yes.
And one must understand the omniverse. To understand said omniverse, one must first go to Albert Weber's website, Omniverse. And there you will see that we are in a fabric of bent time. So to predict the very simple Brian the Carpenter's future behaviors is not very much a stretch. It's very much accepted, and it's normal stuff, everyday stuff. All right, so let's not stop playing.
Man.
His merch venture will exceed the expectations of Palabate Paul.
I ain't even got any merch, man. Cut me some slack.
He's jumping guardrails, skirting responsibilities of breeding for future productivity. And he's just being the guy we all wish we were.
Oh, shit. We got to pick a winner?
Who won?
Okay. We're going to pick a winner of the Ike Live like and share contest on Facebook. And remember, all we asked you to do was like and share the feed. If you did that, your names were entered in a contest, and we will randomly select one name right now. We're using the randomizer as I'm speaking. And Brian, our winner of the Ike Live Facebook.
May I feel the bag, please?
Keep like and share feed.
Keep saying words.
Yeah, wait, Stormtrooper's feeling it.
Easily 25 kilograms.
Right. 25 kilos. How many pounds is that? What's
Yo,
a kilo?
50 pounds.
Yo, Mike, last show, me and Pete were both holding that, and that ain't no 25 pounds.
What?
That ain't 25 pounds.
Blasphemy, Paul. You will toe the line as you are told.
Well,
And you will
it's
shut
not
it all up.
25. It's close to 20.
Oh,
Give me that.
okay.
Give me close to 20.
Okay.
Blasphemy,
Yeah.
Paul.
All right. What we need is a Normark scale to actually weigh this. It's heavy.
Easily 25 kilos.
It's heavy. But
Who won?
our winner tonight of the Ike Live like and share contest on Facebook is
Bob Dabalina.
Bob Dabalina.
Sounds like a guinea.
Mr. Dabalina.
Sounds like a rap song, but
Mr. Bob Dabalina.
all right. Bob
I
Dabalina,
don't
you're the winner.
trust the name.
Bob, please forward your info through. We won't share it on the feed. Please send your info through, and we'll get you the Ike Live, world famous Ike Live gift.
Congratulations.
It might not be Bob, but I'm trying desperately to figure out the
Okay.
fuck shared this.
Robert Damalino did not win.
All right, Bright, we want to thank all our guests on tonight. Thank you guys for coming on. We want to thank everybody for watching. It's
Yes.
awesome
Thank
show.
you.
Stormtrooper, thank Dave for us. It was
Thank
great to
you
have
for
Dave
having
in
me.
here.
I
Yes.
love being here.
Paul, thank you for handling the IM duties tonight. Appreciate that. It's great having you in the studio. Brian
Don't
Carpenter,
love Paul.
appreciate it. Where can people get the merch, Brian?
They can't.
BrianCarpenter.com.
I would love to
do you
not
own the
there.
website yet?
Angler Unit. Angler Unit. That's Chris. He made the logo.
AnglerUnit.com.
Yeah, he made the logo. He sent me the shirt.
AnglerUnit.com.
I would
right.
rather wear a Biden Harris T-shirt than that.
That's low.
That's some dirty shit, bro.
Wow. Oh, that's the worst insult of
Bring
the
on
night.
the Biden.
I mean,
Oh, man.
come on.
Hope everybody has a wonderful remainder of a Saturday. What do we got? An hour left. And hope you have a great remainder of the weekend. And we'll see you on the next show. Hopefully sooner than 2 months.
Goodbye, sheep.
Hold
night,
on. Hold on.
everybody.
Wait.
What?
Wait. Keep talking.
Oh.
Give me a minute.
What should I say to the sheep? Should I say that if I was a Vanderbilt, what would I do?
Dave, say something cool so Mike doesn't keep doing that. Fuck. All right, never mind.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
How do you
Please
not know how
stand
to
by.
turn on?